Hello, everyone. Hi. How are you all doing? It is I, Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. Hi, everybody. You know, my desk is not as clean as it could be right now, is a thing that I have just noticed. I was like, oh, my desk is fine. But then I thought, it's not bad, but you know, hey, PH, how are you? Hey, everybody. How are you all? What is going on? What's happening? PH, I was just thinking about you the other day. I was just thinking fondly of you in the midst of the madnesses. What are you doing? Today is Thursday. We are going to be playing Night in the Woods, the winner of the 2018 Independent Game Festival's Excellence in Narrative. One moment. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can rhyme. But if the first two letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name like Bob. Bob, drop the B's, Bo, Ob, or Fred. Fred, drop the F's, fo, red, or Mary. Mary, drop the M's, mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Be boodle floof, be boodle floof, be boodle floof, bo, e boodle floof, banana, fana, fo, fee, foodle floof, fee, fi, mo, me, moodle floof. Be boodle floof. Thank you so much for the resub, B Boodle. It is much appreciated. Like, that's 10 months. 10 months of joy. That's awesome. Thank you. No, Brad. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Pumpkin, 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 bo, bumpkin, banana, fana, fo, fumpkin, fee, fi, mo, mumpkin.
Come on to my house,
Pumpkin.
come on.
Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Pumpkin, thank you. Also for the host, thank you. And the name game, come on everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Cyclonus, 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 bo, biclonus, banana, fana, fo, ficlonus, fee, fo, my, myclonus. Cyclonus. Cyclonus, welcome in and thank you for the sub. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Krellin is apparently only here until 8. That's fair. That's fair. I accept that. And somehow I will get over that, but I really am not quite certain how. What? The name game. Come on, everybody. I say, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fana, and fo. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Atomica, 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 banana, fana, fo, atomica, fee, fi, mo, atomica. Atomica. And Atomica's message is, Teddy, start the ship. And then it made me think about Teddy, who's, you can't see Teddy right now, but Teddy is just right over there on my shelf so that I never forget Teddy. All the resubs, it's so amazing. Cyclonus, you can hang out as much as you like, and that sub is very much appreciated, though. Thank you. Teddy needs a Teddy Roosevelt modulator. That would be amazing. Did you bleach? I did not bleach out the blue. I would not do that. But I just trimmed my beard because I've been trimming it. And I gave it a good trim. And then, as that beard grows out, and I trim it and I lose a little bit of blue. And right now it's really short. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo and a B, then I say the name, then banana, fana, and fo. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Paladin, bo, ballin, banana, fana, fo, faladin, fee, fi, mo, maladin. Paladin. Wait, hold on, give me this one right there. I want to get my control freak. Come here. There. Control freak, bo, control freak, banana, fana, fo, fun, troll freak, fee, fi, mo, control freak, control freak. Hey everybody. I don't know if Cher's around. Cher might be there soon. By the way, it is, PH pointed out that it is September. It's September, everybody. All the subs are half off. So if you want to sub, then you can do that if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to, it is much appreciated. All the, I try to keep it classy. I do, but I was, what was I doing? I was running around. He's not Cher yet. Only new subs. Oh, not renews. Well, that's a bummer. You should be able to renew with a September and have that be a thing. It should, control freaks, what does this button do? I want to thank all the subs and the resubs, and what am I doing? What's happening? So at the moment, there are a lot of things to think about. All of your subs go to help me in my plans to create an RPG empire and, support the stream and all those details. So that's one of the things, and I appreciate it. It's true. Oh, huh. Interesting. Ice Bunny, I can change this stream title to just chatting and streaming, but we're gonna play. Oh, right, if your sub elapsed, it counts. It's interesting. It's interesting, right? Gang, I was just thinking about you all, and I was just thinking about how I missed you. I just want you to know it. I've missed you all. I know that I was only off for 1 week with a house guest, but I did. I missed you all. And I am sitting here thinking about that. What does Atomica say? 5th sub in Feck This. I'm not singing again. Here's your rhyme. Let me start my stream. No. It's just that when I get them all at once, I try to consult. Because in the song, here's the thing. In the song, they'll just do a bunch of names all at once. And so if I get a bunch all together, then I'll just string them along. It shouldn't say Horizon Zero Dawn because I did update. I see Night in the Woods. I'll do it again. If you reload, it should be good. It should be good if you say reload because I'm all I feel like it's there. Maybe. Hey, Levi, how are you? Yeah. So like, I feel like this is what I'm seeing. Look, I have things I want to tell you all. There are things I want to tell you, and I have thoughts. Oh, I should tell you this other thing. Our giveaway is what we were supposed to give away last time. Hey, TiVo, how are you doing? And the game we're giving away this time that we were supposed to give away last time, but I got distracted by all the talk, is I Am Not a Monster, which is a turn-based tactical game. And that is what we're doing today. But we're going to try to hit that, around 8 when Krellin leaves, maybe. We'll see. Also, Krellin, I will be catching the debate after the stream, and then I'm going to jump in and catch it. Okay, so what is even happening in the life? So first off, we're back. I don't expect to... I know, Nightbot is just like... Nightbot is sassy. I don't expect to be missing any streams except for a Thursday stream when I have to go off to a college and assess their music program because I was asked to go and do that, and so I'm going to do that. But other than that, I'll be streaming Thursdays and Saturdays as usual, and also Wednesdays for the Purloin Code, and that's what I'm doing. I've got a bunch of fellowship to do, and once I can get a couple of those off my plate, I'm going to be happy to sort of dive into some session prep for a Cthulhu Confidential, which I would like to do by the end of September, but it might have to happen at the beginning of October. But nonetheless, we're going to have some Cthulhu Confidential coming, which I'm really excited about for running RPGs on my stream. Hey, Sea Spider. And Krellin says, Nightbot's going to give me the prize even though I'm not even here. Krellin, here's the thing about Nightbot. Nightbot will. Nightbot, like, I don't even know what he'll say, but Nightbot's obsessed with you. What am I supposed to do about this? I keep telling Nightbot to, like, knock it off. I was like, Krellin's not that into you, Nightbot. And then Nightbot's like, I don't care. So, like, I'm trying, Krellin. Sea Spider. Nightbot loves Quellin. Yes. Pound's like, oh, I have codes for stuff. What do you have codes for? So what else I want to do? Yeah, so this is the big thing is I'm just trying to find the time amidst all of the independent studies and fellowship applications and getting ready for the semester, which, by the way, is outrageous, to be able to get some Cthulhu Confidential. Right, because Atomic is like, I want to see some too. Right, it's going to be for the spoopy season. I want to try to get some Cthulhu Confidential for the spoopy season. And then, I got some things I want to do. Hey, I've got, I don't have news yet, but I might have news, and I will tell you about it next week if I do have news or if I can. So, I will see. Atomica is doing his impression of Jackie Dash as Vivian Sinclair, and it goes something like, "Oh, she was cute. Oh, there goes her face. Oh well. Time for pie." And yeah, that was about how that went. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Oh my goodness. Just, hey, Baron Tor, how are you? So what else do they say? Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. I got stuff in the mail. Vivian Sinclair is not a nice person. That is true. Vivian Sinclair, does not have time for being nice. Vivian Sinclair wants to get the story. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And so I really want to find out how AJ does Langston Wright. Like, how does Langston Wright work? What kind of character are we going to get there and how that be? And so I'm really excited to do that prep. And right now I'm sort of just studying up on Washington, D.C. during the wartime era, so I can run that game properly. And I'm very excited. Did I get bills? I don't actually get bills in the mail anymore, PH, because I feel like the bill company's like, we're just going to send you emails that you can never escape from, which is mostly what happens. I've got most of my stuff on, I pay them online. Just what I do with most of my bills nowadays. I feel like it's crazy how much everything happens online. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't... Spam filters. Whoop, bills? What? What is your exam subject, Ice Bunny? So I got some stuff in the mail from Kickstarters, and I want to show you. I have them down here, and I want to show you. So first off, I bought a pack of dice that were recommended to me from a company. And these dice here, it's a regular set of polyhedrals, but they are the colors for trans folks. They're like the trans colors. You got some like blue and pink in there, and it's sort of merging. So that's really cool. So I got some. Oh, thanks, Levi. Right, thank you for the dice. I know. What killed the artist or poisonous painting in the art in the before 1750? Oh, right. Like, isn't that cool? Like, I'm really excited for these. Like, they make me really happy. And I wanted to show them. I have not rolled them yet because I don't want to jinx them. They're really cool. I really like, you know, here, look at here's see, now I'm gonna take it out. Look at this D20, right? This D20 is just really neat. Look at that. Right? Oh, you know what? By the way, gang, I don't have my lights on. I was like, I'm sitting here in my office without my lights on, and those dice are super cool, right? They're so neat. And and of course, here's the thing, right? The D6s are sort of like obviously cool because you're like, oh, that D6, that obviously will look good. But the D10s look pretty cool. Look at that. Right? Like that's very cool. Yeah, and right? Oh, and by the way, let me turn on that light over there. I knew I was forgetting something. Give me a second. You can still hear me. I'm just right on the other side of the computer monitor, so I can turn on my other light. And I'm wearing my, yeah. I'm reminded of the guy with transmission problems who posted on a trans Reddit looking for help, and he got it. That's the wholesome stuff I live for. I love it. I love that. And then, okay, so then I got some things that I kickstarted in the mail, which I kickstarted A Cool and Lonely Courage, which is an RPG about the women of the SOE. So we're talking some good World War II resistance stuff, which, as you know, is the next sort of long game that I want to GM. Not using this system, of course, but I'm always excited for more material on this particular topic. The SOE is the Special Operations Executive, and it is basically the spy organization of the British, and it existed before there was an MI6, MI5, or CIA, and it was one of these sort of like very early sorts of spy organizations, and they recruited people from all over, all walks of life, when like people would escape from their war-torn countries, like refugees from Poland or wherever, they would, and oftentimes people would like escape the Nazi threat by going to England. They'd get their training there and they'd be airdropped back in, and they were doing all sorts of spy work all over the place. And out of the SOE came MI6, MI5, and also the CIA got their training there. And that's like what's really exciting. And so there's another little, so this is like a super little mini game that I got. It's British, and it uses cards. Right, so it uses cards, but you can see it, whoop, for like success, misfortune, love, and death. And I'm excited to read through this little book, not right now, clearly, because who has time for that? But later. But I'm excited to see how it works and what it's like. And I'm also excited just to sort of pick up more data for the French resistance game that I am planning on run. I have not yet gotten Good Society Dover Shore. They haven't sent it out yet. Flee to England to escape Nazis. All right, mate, let's get you trained up and right back in there. Which, you know, as it happens, my teacher told that the white pigment was lead, and they use the same pigment for paint and makeup. I should just read it to you on the air, but I feel like it'd be better quality than Atlanta Nights, and do I want to break my streak? This is my question. Hey, Rissa, how are you? And then, hold on. I mean, I've got, where did I put them? Where did I put them? I probably put them over there. Or did I put them up here? No. There? No. Here? No. Where? Here? No. There. I have other things that I got. Yeah, toxic lead is so terrible. Where is it? Oh, hold on. I can show you. I also I got these a little bit earlier, but I didn't show you all online. Don't try the lead. Kick that head cold. No head cold, Rissa. So I also got, while I was running around getting stuff, I got some reproductions of various booklets, that the training manuals that the SOE made. So the Art of Guerrilla Warfare, this is from May 1939 manual. The Special Operations Executive Operational Stores Handbook, which has got all sorts of information about, the kinds of equipment and tools they would use for their materials. And then how to use high explosives in case you want it. And then also the Partisan Leader's Handbook, which I expect to use this one quite a lot. So the SOE sort of put out a handbook on how to be a good leader of a partisan group, including, this one here, destruction of railway engines. 1. If you have no explosives, run off most of the water in the boiler and bank up the fire. The firebox, no longer cooled by the water, will get red hot and the steam pressure will bend it in. 2. If you have explosives, make it up into one of the pound packets, each with a hand bomb timer strike mechanism. This mechanism will explode the charge 6 seconds after the pin is pulled out. The best places to put these charges are in any of the large machined portions of the engine, which the hand bombs will cover and are not more than 1 inch thick. If the engine is cold, open the smoke box in front and put a charge just inside one of the tube openings. So this is how you would destroy a railway engine. There's just some information here, a lot of different info that you might need if you're running around doing things in 1939, in case. The nightshade eye drops. Yeah, no, but Rissa, get better, because I'm planning on seeing you on Sunday. Levi's fresh. Well, Rissa, Levi, you can be out of explosives. You just have to drain out all the water out of the engine and heat it up, and then that'll destroy the engine as well. There are tips right in there. Why is it different kind of gorilla? Different kind of gorilla. And then I have here, this is the, this is fun. I got All In Fighting, which is the manual on how to fight by W.E. Fairbairn, who sort of invented kind of modern military fighting styles. And it was the style that they taught the members of the SOE at the time. So, right, your bear hug. So how to attack with a small stick or cane. So I got all this stuff. So I just got a bunch of period manuals because I thought that would be helpful for the campaign. I'm just telling you, I have been getting all sorts of exciting things getting ready for this campaign, and I've got more things to do, but we will get there. Does it explain that running away is a great strategy? Running away and being a pacifist is a good strategy, but not if you're a partisan wanting to take down the Nazis. So then you have to kind of just, blow up some trains and some bridges and some roads and whatnot. Guerrilla is Spanish for war, and it was sort of their style of fighting, hit and run and such. That is correct. Judo and weapons of opportunity. Oh, that is Fairbairn very much. So I also have, I got that. I'm excited about that. And then I picked up, and Baronter will be excited. I got in from my Kickstarter, the Fantasy Trip Adventures. So this is the adventures for the Fantasy Trip, which is very exciting. Rissa says, I intended GM barring complete loss of voice. Sorry feeling sick Saturday, Sunday, but better now. Just not 100% yet. And had to work all week through the cold meds. Oh yeah. And because tomorrow I only have one faculty meeting tomorrow, and I don't think I have to meet students. I don't think I do. So that means I get to go and, besides working on my fellowships, I get to go and work on the game write-ups and make sure I get them posted before our game on Sunday. Yeah, I got mine early. And so they've got all these really great map pieces and miniature type things, right? So they got all that. And then they came with like 2 cool folders, whoosh, with reference material. So I'm enjoying that. My favorite World War II weapons are the super cheap 45 ACP pistols USA intended to be airdropped into France. Unclear if anywhere ever dropped in though. No banana peels, Ice Bunny. None. That will not take it all out. Basically a single shot, super slow reload pistol intended to pop a Nazi and take their stuff. Yes. Also, hey, Adobe Flash Player thing, leave me alone. Like I'm talking to my friends right now. Don't remind me. So, right? Yeah, and find that octopus will be exciting. And then I got one last thing. And I got this because it was a really good deal. And it was like one of those big systems that I feel like I should also really, really get to know. I got... Ooh, there's a little box. Wow. I got the new Savage Worlds, right? So this is the box of all of the... every kind of stuff you might need. So it's got, yeah, the Adventure Edition, right? So it's got a little poster, but I will just show you the inside of the box. But it's got like, it's got some dice. Oh, there. Whoop. No. Here. Dice, and then it's got some poker chips, and then like cards, and dials, so that's really exciting. And then of course it also got the new edition core rules, which, right, it is, yeah, Baron's War. It's also one of the ones that I have never tried, but ooh, pardon me, forgive me, poor little microphone, but I think I told you all before, right? I was in a D&D group. I told you about that, and they were a D&D group that just basically didn't want to play anything other than D&D. They're one of those groups that was like all D&D all the time. And I was like, come on, we got to play something besides D&D. And they were like, no, I have memorized every single supplement for 3.5. We know all of the page numbers, all of them. And I was like, this is going to be difficult. And I finally got them, though. I did actually get them. I convinced them to let me run a really short little GURPS espionage game, which they really enjoyed. And that just sort of broke open the dam. And then they started playing other game systems we played, Mutants and Masterminds, some other things. But after I left, they got really into Savage Worlds. Like, they just ended up like loving Savage Worlds. And I was like, I should go and I should play some Savage Worlds. I should do that. And yeah, so that's right. That's a thing. I was like, I mean, I should do it. Is this, this is actually my post. Well, no. Rissa asked if this is my post-teaching day look, or have I been doing the Cthulhu Confidential dry run. Actually, this is my post-teaching look, except that normally when I'm teaching, I'm wearing a sport coat. And I thought that since I'm behind lights, I would not have to wear the sport coat today and for you all. So yeah, so this is me in my teaching look, but without my sport coat. If a Nazi slips on a peel and then falls face first up the stairs, cracks his skull, isn't he a goner then? Banana peel win. Maybe that's true. But you have to like work really hard to put the bananas right in the right place and know they're going to walk. I mean, it's a little tricky. What's hits post? Yes. So I might have, how are the new students? Non-terrible. I'm teaching 2 classes. I'm teaching History of African American Music and then also Introduction to Musicology. And my History of African American Music class is my large lecture class. So we've got, 45, 50 students. And they're super feisty. I like them. Like, they're talking. It's not just like 1 or 2 people talking, but it's a lot of people talking. So that's great. So I'm really excited for that. My Introduction to Musicology is for grad students only. And that has 4 students in it. And they are really, like, so far they look like they're going to be really excited. We've only had 1 class with them. So we will see how they really go once we get to see them tomorrow when we start, not tomorrow, Monday, when we really start talking research. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. Levi asks, Barantor, if Star Trek taught me anything, worlds that seem not to be savage harbor a dark secret. Yeah, no, that's true. They've been myth-busted. Oh, the one in the wait, banana peels have been myth-busted? Now I want to know. Did you decide? I did decide on the protest and joy list. So that is set, and I'm excited for that. I need to actually post it to my Facebook though. Do you open classes for 4 people? Oh yeah, totally. We will, like, these are for seminars, and our seminars, like my seminars are maxed out at 12. So the most you can have in a seminar is 12. And our seminars will often be 5 or 6. So it's a really nice, intimate experience for a small number of students to get really intense. My classes tend to max out on 12. I don't tend to sort of hit at 4 normally, but this is like, this is for graduate students only, and it's only for the first year graduate students. If I were teaching one of my regular seminars, I'd probably hit 10 or 12, but this is a special case. And it is, right, it's really nice. So PH says, yes, they are slippery, so it is plausible, but nowhere near as easy as TV makes it look. That is fair. Oh, yes, Rissa, what I'm thinking about doing, Rissa, is I think I will post both the Pain and Protest playlist and also the Joy the Joy playlist. So I'm going to put them both in there, and so that people can see them both. And that's what I'm going to do. So I showed you all my stuff that I got. What else did I tell you? Besides that, I missed you. At my uni only opens classes for 20 students. Anything less, the class isn't happening. Oh, yeah, no. So, music. No, see, we have the difference between large lecture classes and small seminars. And small seminars, are generally going to be capped pretty low, like because you want to have a small experience where you all sit together as a group and like really go through materials and do a lot of reading and really talk about it and really have a really sort of exciting experience. And it's very much what we do for graduate students and upper class students, although I will let anybody into my seminars as long as they're ready for it. I'm happy to have them in there. I rode my bike in snow once, and that didn't work out for me because I sort of fell over. But Ice Bunny, I think your university is free, right? Right? Where you... Yeah, it is really hard to get the in-depth discussions going with more than 10 students. So, with like a good small group of 5 to 10 students, you can get a really good discussion going where you just like dive into it and everybody talks and everybody's talking about their ideas and you can really sort of sit there and work through the materials, and I love it. Krellin, I am sure you are ready to take my seminar. I feel like you are totally ready for it. Barantor says, you've got snow business riding a bike like that. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah. And Levi loves that comment from Barantor. There's booing, but I think it's like booing out of love. I did it on a frozen body of water. Snow and bikes don't like each other. It's true. I remember just trying to like turn left and right in the snow, and that just was like, whoop. Wasn't good. I've gotten all the lower level lectures by watching your streams. It depends on which seminar. Trooper's next stream, teaching us music. There are skis you can attach to bikes, so that's cool. Yeah, isn't it funny how ice is easier than snow in some ways? That's so funny to me. And yeah, but I'll tell you, it was not fun. And I was just like, you know what? I have to get off the bike and just walk it because this is not working very well. But I don't ride. I actually don't even I don't even have a bicycle anymore, so that's not even going to happen. This is true. Snow is easier on the bottom when you fell. When I fell multiple times in the snow, I was like, poof, poof. I was like, well, got back up, and then I just was like, I'm walking it. They beat us to finish the program because the institute makes money on us graduating. Right? Yeah. So I think that. Right. That yeah. So like Ice Bunny, I think it's free for you, right, to go to university. So it's just like a slightly different system. And our Dovey, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Now the real question: can his students distract him into side conversations as we do from the games? It's a good question. It depends. Lecture courses, a little less so, although my class has been working on it. Seminars, that's the point. The point of the seminar is to sort of go in our conversation and see where it takes us. So I'm a bit more open to moving as the conversation wills. Is Boston expecting snowpocalypse this winter? Oh, I hope not too. Atomica hopes not, and I hope not, and I never know. You know, this weather, dang, it is so unclear what is happening with our weather. I expect Trooper frequently gets late to things because the conversation was too good. Yeah, it's more likely the conversation will be really good, and then I have to sort of reassess how our conversation is going to go. Because I just want to sort of get us started off and then let the conversation develop naturally. No snowpocalypse, says PH, but a small Sharknado. Like, as long as it's a small Sharknado with maybe little baby sharks, then I think it's fine. That's all right. But as Ice Bunny says, but as I said, free is not always good. It always sounds you in the States care more about your students get something learned. I do know why I hope there's no snowpocalypse. Well, I mean, I think that in many schools, we care that our students learn also because they're paying, $50,000 to be there. They care if they get something learned as well. I mean, the university, those are like a private school. Like, you can go to a community college for pretty cheap, actually. So we have different kinds of universities here. We have community colleges, we have state colleges, and we have private universities. And, some of them can be very expensive. So everybody cares about if they learn when you're paying that much money. Although some people don't. Some people, I suppose, are drunk. But that's a little bit different. Rissa says it was 90 here today and it will be until Monday. 90's a lot. Krellin says, I don't know. There's probably a lot of legacy admits who don't care about learning. I think that's what I was thinking, Krellin. They just want the paper that open source. Krellin, when I was saying that I feel like most people, except for those who are drunk, there are some legacy admits who are not paying it for themselves, who don't really care that much. So I think that's fair, Krellin. I think there are some people who don't care as much. That is not their priority. And that always makes me sad, because I'm trying to teach you, and I'm sad if you're just, you want to know something crazy? Sorry, do you want to know something crazy? I know I'm just distracting myself, but I brought it up, sort of. So at a university that I do not currently teach at, I think I can tell you the name, right? No one's going to stop me, right? So it's not Cthulhu level crazy, but it was pretty shocking to me. So I taught briefly at William and Mary, the College of William and Mary in Virginia. And there's this tradition that happens there, and I don't even know what. Oh, I just learned a new thing that I think works really well that I'm going to do for that thing. I know I'm just distracting myself. Trooper, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, no, Levi, that's fair. So they have this tradition at William and Mary, which just kind of blew my mind a little bit. Seniors, on one secret day out of the year, and you don't know which day, they show up to class completely drunk. And I have to be teaching the day of this secret come to class totally drunk day. And I was teaching a class that started at 9 a.m. I was teaching a history of jazz class. And it was 9 a.m, and I come into class, and I will say, no, Levi, I am not even joking. I'm not even joking, Levi. It's 9 a.m, and I'm teaching class, and most of my students, I think, probably understood that I was not going to be very excited about them being drunk in class, and I was going to keep teaching. And so most of my students were, not drunk. But there was this guy who came into the class who was not one of my students. He just sat in on class, and he had a water bottle like this, and it was completely full of, I'm pretty sure, vodka. Dude was red-eyed and super drunk at 9 a.m, and no, not completely nude, but completely drunk. And he was just super, super drunk, and he was trolling. But again, when people troll me, my response is often to, I don't know, give you some rope. So I was like, talking about the jazz. And I asked the question of the class as I normally do. I was like, what do you think here? Levi says, no one is more intelligent than how a drunk person sees themselves. So I asked a question to my class, and this drunk person was like, raises his hand, and I was like, okay, drunk person. And he was trying to answer the question in some super drunk way that didn't make any sense at all, thinking that like I would be embarrassed, or like thinking it was funny. Do you know what I mean? Like that it would be funny for him to sort of just be disruptive in the classroom. And my response was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Tell me more exactly, and can you describe how the music ties into that? And when I expected him to actually answer for real, then he left. But I was like, who gets drunk at 9 in the morning and then goes to class? Come on. What is that? Like, just don't go to class, but better, don't be drunk at 9 in the morning in class. Anyway, it was like, it was goofy because what are you doing? Sea Spider says, I like my liquor, enjoy the buzz. What has happened to your life that you were drunk at 9 a.m.? Like, what the heck, man? Yeah, it was, yes, PH, it was a lot of bad decisions. And like I'm telling you, it was not like, oh, I'm buzzed at 9 in the morning. It was like he was drunk, sloppy drunk, super drunk, like embarrassingly drunk, not being able to walk well drunk at 9 in the morning. And I was like, come on. Krellin says, it's like senior ditch day, but 100% worse. Right, like, just ditch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to ditch, I'm not going to be mad. Just don't come to class, fine. But, ooh, sloppy drunk. And I just never really got that. I just didn't understand it. It wasn't my thing. Ice Bunny says, when I was in Folk High School, we had tiny Friday parties. We had to sit... rest drunk in Friday classes, but we lived at school. Yeah. PH says he wanted to rebel, but Trooper didn't give him anything to rebel against. And actually, that's true. That's what happened, that he was hoping to get some kind of, I don't know, some kind of like authoritarian reaction from me, and he didn't get it, so then he was disappointed. That's all. Krellin says, my high school had an SDD, and I had teachers literally beg me not to come to class because they wanted the day off. What's an SDD? Senior ditch day. Right. Oh, interesting. Huh. Did you go to class, Krellin? I hope you went to class. One of the things that makes me interested in the college I'm looking at, it's not a party college. Yeah, you know, I feel like once you, first off, grad school is always different. Like, grad students don't tend to... Grad life is different. A school that might be a party school is probably not a party school for grad students, is what I would say. Come on, says Anarch W in the New York accent. Senior ditch day. Was his name Brad by any chance? No, Brad. Don't come to class drunk. No. No. See, that's fair, Krellin. That is fair. So, what did I want to tell you? Oh my gosh. What? The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo and a B, then I name the name, then banana, fana, and fo. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can rhyme. Devil crayon, bo, bevel crayon, banana, fana, fo, fevel crayon, fee, fi, mo, mevel crayon. Devil Crayon. Ooh, that's a good one. Devil Crayon, your name is 4 syllables, but it's actually pretty easy to name game. And I just sort of wonder about like I think it's the rhythm, like the rhythm of the name. Some names rhythmically work really well, and then some names are like kind of tricky to get in there. I like it. Hello, Foxhoodle's Devil Crayon. You are not disruptive. You're awesome. I read somewhere that Tolkien ran a bunch of his lectures in a really awkward way because he didn't want his students. Wait. Oh, wait. Let me see. I didn't see it. Let me. I will look. He didn't want his students to turn up so he could finish working on The Hobbit. Oh my goodness. That would not do well. If I were not getting any students showing up in my classes, that would be sad times. Krellin says, to be fair, I didn't actually have to go to school for my last semester anyway. I already had all the credits I needed to graduate. Oh, yeah, Krellin, you seem like a smarty pants. I totally buy it. One of his pupils was Ursula Le Guin. She turned up to every class and made J.R.R. actually teach, and that is amazing, and I love that. J.R.R. Ursula Le Guin is awesome. No. Be Boodle, but I love your name anyway. Did I see the resub show up? You know, Rissa, I'm not seeing the resub. Not recently. No, I'm not seeing it over here in my little thing. Maybe I'll. Yeah, I don't see it. It must have slipped in there. Oh yeah, it's Ursula Le Guin is brilliant. Oh, there's a new Earthsea show in the works. Really? I hope it's good. Oh, Sea Spider notes that because Krellin is an overachiever, that's why Nightbot is obsessed with Krellin. I could see it. I love the Who Shot J.R.R. sequence on Dallas of the Rings. I mean, Paladin, right? You do see right here that I have the Dallas role-playing game, right? Like you do see that. Like that is something you're aware of, right? I mean, so this is that should be Cyberpunk Dallas. There we go. But I mean, like you do know that, right? Because, right? Yeah, no, it is real, PH. It's real. It's from the 80s. In the 80s, they made a Dallas RPG, and I want to run it at some point in time because I don't even know what to say about that. I love it. I'm really excited. Krellin, I'm an autodidact, but I'm bad at school. I had shitty grades, but went to extra school after school and was the only presidential scholar in my graduating class who was also not in the top 10 students. Oh, that's so interesting. I was a really good student, but I also had bad grades because I just didn't do busy work. If they assigned busy work, I just didn't do it. And that will make your grades be bad. I did really well on my tests, but I was just like, this is a stupid assignment, and I didn't do it. And then I did not have good grades. But, you know, but there you go. That's it. I'm really excited about this Dallas RPG. I'm really excited for it, like hardcore. And you know what's really interesting to me about this Dallas RPG is that I think like a nighttime soap opera would be a perfect RPG setting. Like you could do, I mean, I'm telling you, can you imagine how cool? I never really watched Dallas, I watched Dynasty, but could you imagine how great a nighttime soap RPG would be? You've got intrigue. It'd be kind of like Vampire the Masquerade, but without the vampires and perhaps more fights in swimming pools. But like you got some brawls in swimming pools. Dynasty had the wedding, the Moldavian massacre, which was like a big wedding with all the stars there. And then in the country of Moldavia, and then like terrorists came and shot everybody, but then you didn't know who was going to live because that was the season cliffhanger. Till the next season, everybody lived. It's fine. And then Fallon got kidnapped by a UFO at the end of the Colbys. And then like people, I mean, all sorts of things can happen if you do an RPG of a nighttime soap. I just think it would be really good. I think it would be fun and hilarious. And especially if everybody's like having fun with it, there'd be just really big hair and it would be amazing. I'm just saying. Krellin says, I lost my college scholarship because I had perfect A's in all my history and computer science classes, my two majors, but flunked out of most of my core curriculum classes. Oh, that's rough, Krellin. That is rough. Riss says, but you were excited about Atlanta Nights too, and now I see you writing Atlanta Nights using Dallas RPG. Ooh. Oh, and Bobby was like, oh, yeah. Krellin reminds us of like that amazing thing. Right? So if you don't know what happened, Bobby was basically kind of like the male white hat lead in Dallas. He was like the good guy, and I think he might have been JR's brother, and JR was the bad guy. Again, right? Anyway, he's like this sort of like big lead, and he was like the hot dude in the 80s, whatever. Anyway, he dies as the season cliffhanger in one season, and then the season afterwards. And this is important to note that there was a spin-off of Dallas called Falcon Crest, and because Bobby died, this sort of impacted both shows, because then like on the other show somebody inherited all his stuff. I don't know. Anyway, so the next season is all people are dealing with the death of Bobby and like what does it mean for him to die, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But audiences flipped out. They were so upset that Bobby died. They were so angry. They complained about it the entire season. Like, how dare you kill off Bobby? How dare you? How dare you? And so at the cliffhanger for that season afterwards, his wife, who's like all sad and in mourning, she wakes up and there's somebody in her shower. She goes over to the shower and she opens the shower door to find out who's there, and it's Bobby, you know, who's been dead a year. And then we come up the next season and it turns out that the entire season where he was dead, they just made it a dream. They're just like, it was just a dream. He wasn't dead after all, because the audience were so mad. And so they just kind of erase that entire season. They just erased the entire season, is what they did. Ice Bunny says, I was so good in high school only because all the exams are oral and only the A level is written. Atlantis Nights. Ooh, Atlantis Nights would be so good. Patrick Duffy, that is correct. And the thing about Falcon Crest is that the impact of Bobby's death on Falcon Crest wasn't erased. So like some people had like inherited some stuff from Bobby, but they still kept it in Falcon Crest. But yeah, they just erased an entire season of Dallas. And that's an instance, right, of fan outrage changing things pretty heavily. So, you know, it was interesting. It was interesting. And here's the thing. I didn't even watch Dallas, but Dallas was such a cultural moment that even if you didn't watch the show, you knew things about it because they would report it on the news, and that was unheard of before. PH says, I know that Bobby's alive now, but I'm keeping that lawnmower. That's fair. Cyclona says, yeah, I was a terrible student. I was the guy who was good at figuring out the major plots of books and not reading them, so I missed the small details. Ice Bunny says, and as a good lazy student, I took German as A level and got an A in the paper because Ice Bunny is fluent in German. Atomica, I'm planning on reading up on SAT prep and then taking the SAT just to get my head back in the concept of schoolwork. Yeah, you know, they've got some, like, I just got one of those like books, you know, the SAT prep books. Read it. You should be fine, I think. Can you imagine those fans without social media? It was crazy. Yeah, you know, Levi says, imagine getting your favorite TV show spoiled by the news. But the thing is, they didn't give you spoilers. It was really amazing. Because imagine this for a moment. Back then, they didn't really have entertainment news. So the news didn't really report on entertainment things. And what broke that and what changed that moment where TV started reporting on entertainment was when J.R. Ewing got shot. Right? He was the big person in that show. And at some point in time, somebody shot him and nobody knew who shot him. And all of a sudden it was on the news, who shot JR? And everybody was talking about it, who shot JR? For like the entire summer, everybody wanted to know. And I think it ended up being somebody quite disappointing, but again, I didn't watch the show. Anarch W says, so it's like Mafia 2, one of the main characters dies right in the end off screen because he wasn't part of the main characters and boss's deal, and then was brought back in 3. Hey, if you don't see a body, you can't prove they're dead. Back then, no one cared about spoilers. Oh, people cared about spoilers back then, though. Because there was that whole deal about the Crying Game, where they worked really hard to make sure that people did not know spoilers for the Crying Game. And then also, usually horror films, there's like a big deal about like not having spoilers for horror films. But that's both, right? It is both. Psycho started it, correct. But it is also both. Both of those things are happening. It's still hard to remember Appointment TV. You better watch this or you get one more chance in the summer, maybe, and then it's gone. Yeah, it's the Poisonous Dwarf. Oh, I think maybe you're right though. Yeah, it's also interesting to think about. My mom and my grannies were into the Thornbirds and the show Shogun. Oh, they liked Richard Chamberlain. I imagine your mom and your granny just thought he was hot because he was in both of those. It's interesting because I keep thinking about how you couldn't get things back, right? Like there was that window, like the show was on, and then maybe you'd get that rerun in the summer. Otherwise, if you missed it, you missed it because you weren't going to get it on any other media. And like that was really interesting to me. Right, like that sort of moment of you watch it or you don't get to see it. Yeah, maybe, says Devil Crayon, maybe you or a friend who had a VHS recorded it, but if they didn't, so sad for you. Yeah, but and it wasn't ubiquitous. Yeah, and then people start. Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting what that's like. And Krellin says that's basically how video recorders got started, and that is true. Atomica says, wasn't that one about the priest and the young girl and the romance? That was the Thornbirds, about the woman and the priest, and they fall in love, and it's so scandalous. A lot of scandalousness were happening. I was not allowed to see it back in the 80s. That is fair. That is fair. I feel like I'm the only one who likes Mafia 2 ending because it is exactly how gangster films end, ambiguously and bittersweet. Main character doesn't really get what they want in the end. Mafia 3 completely changed the context and impact of the ending of 2. Anarch W, what you say feels... First off, I need to play it clearly, but that feels right to me. Like I feel like that sounds like a really interesting ending. I think I'd like the ending of... I like some bittersweet, sad, ambiguous endings. Levi says, as a kid, I always was responsible for setting up the VCR to record Days of Our Lives. Yeah, you gotta get the soaps. B. Boodle says, I wasn't allowed to read the Thornbirds as it was too raunchy, so I read it under the covers with a torch. And then George Michael wrote Father Figure for that show. So here's the thing about raunchy books, and maybe B. Boodle will appreciate this, but when I was in school, what was all the rage at the time were the Flowers in the Attic series, which all of these young folks, elementary school, like fifth graders and then middle schoolers, all reading Flowers in the Attic, which, if you don't know, is a series of books by V.C. Andrews, and it's this like Southern Gothic incest story about like a brother and sister, and then I think maybe a couple other brothers and sisters, like two older brothers and sisters, and then like some youngins who are locked in the attic by their mother, and because the mother's husband died, and so the mother has to move in with her mother, the grandmother, who's sort of evil, and the grandmother can't know or doesn't know that the mother has children or doesn't accept them, so the children are locked in the attic, and of course the two eldest sort of fall in love and start having a relationship, and then there's like poison. Anyway, it was all very scandalous for fifth graders, and that's what everybody was reading, is all I'm saying. Everybody was reading them, and I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Oh, Atomica, I've already played Hellblade. Senua's Sacrifice, played it. It's on YouTube. Really good. Really good. I really enjoyed that. Rissa says, my mom was a Days fan, but she worked retail and was rarely home to watch it live, so we recorded a lot of that soap too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sea Spider Mix is a bit scandalized by the story that I'm telling about Flowers in the Attic. Oh yeah. And I think they even had kids together, the eldest two. And then like, it turns out the younger kids were being poisoned, but then I think actually the mom was super sketchy, and it wasn't just the grandmother who was sketchy. That was a story. And it was all like very scandalous, and like fifth and sixth graders were super into it. And what I think is interesting is that people probably wouldn't. I'll get back to this. It was Lace and Judy Blume when I was at school. Some bits were passed around school and much giggled. Yeah, people would pass around the bits and giggle. As Bunny says, now my is all in Rosamund Pitcher love films. They often located in the UK, but all the people speak the best accent of free German. Mm-hmm. Oh, good night, PH. We're gonna start Nighting in the Woods soon. Days was the soap my dorm collectively watched with my 1 year at college. Good night, PH. I did Young and the Restless is what I did. We're totally going to see it. Hey, Sal, how are you? Welcome in. I haven't seen you in a while. Speaking of who I haven't seen in a while, I haven't seen Dema in a while. Hope Dema's well. Yeah, I haven't seen Dema in a while. And I was just thinking about that. No, and it was funny because I was thinking about in my youth, we had Flowers in the Attic, which is all sorts of like 15, 16, 14-year-old incest romance in an attic, but also Blue Lagoon, which was like another brother-sister incest movie with Brooke Shields and blonde dude. And like there was a lot of sort of kind of oh good. Yeah, because I just haven't seen them in a while. Yeah, I think that's true. I think he's got work. I just hope he's doing well. Oh, that's right. Clan of the Cave Bear had some raunch in them, and people were passing that around in school. This is true. And Tamaki, you might finish Night in the Woods before I do, but I'm going to get there. Like, we're on it. And what's so fascinating to me is that I don't think that, yeah, people were all scandalized by it. Blue Lagoon blonde dude wasn't in anything else after, so that's why no one can remember his name. Krellin, that I feel like he might have been in that pirate movie with Tatum O'Neal. I feel like he was in that pirate movie. There was a pirate movie maybe that I think he was in. But I think that was the only two things he was in. Like he really wasn't in hardly anything. He had he had blonde hair, but like curly hair in that kind of 70s way. And you know, he was sort of like one of those kind of 70s heartthrobs with like blonde curly hair. Cyclonus is making fun of me. No, there was a pirate movie. I think it had Tatum O'Neal in it, and or if it wasn't Tatum O'Neal, it was the other one. Oh my goodness, I'm just telling you, right? But it might have been. That's right. It was called The Pirate Movie. Blonde dude got to do a raunchy scene with Brooke Shields. Was like, I peaked. I'm out. Like, yeah, it was like the guy in Dragon Slayer's hair, right? Exactly. And so I just feel like we would never have those kinds of movies aimed at young people today because people would be just far too scandalized. People would, because there was like nakedness in those movies back in the 70s and in the 80s, and I think people would just lose their mind now. Christopher Atkins, thank you, Krellin. Krellin, he was in a pirate movie, right? Wasn't he? And I just think there were dance movies before Dirty Dancing, and I just think people. Thank you, Krellin. I knew I remembered it. I remembered his hair. I just think that we've gotten a little bit more Victorian in the last couple of decades. Anarchibay says, if you're going to play Mafia 2, I will warn a bit and say that there's some some stuff said about racism, and that era's derogatory words were being used. I personally can handle it. I don't know if audiences can always handle it, but I can handle that sort of stuff. Like if it's like in character and I'm like I can deal with it. Sal says, nakedness? Humans can be unclothed? Hide your eyes and your children's eyes and your waffles. No, the waffles cannot see the nakedness. That is terrible. Yeah. He was in a lot of straight-to-video films. I do declare. You know, did I tell you that joke? I don't know if I can tell you one. I feel like it doesn't have any bad words in it, so I feel like I might be able to tell you. Naked waffles are a blasphemy. It's interesting to me how much nakedness there was in films. Like there was nakedness in Logan's Run. There was nakedness in the first Airplane movie. There was just Zapped, Modern Problems. Of course, the Porky's films. Like there was just a lot of nakedness in the 70s and 80s, all those sex comedies. And I just don't think we don't have those now, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting to me. I'm not. Yeah, and it was mostly just boobs. There were just a lot of boobs in the 70s, and we just don't have boobs now. And it's just funny because I feel like you watch those films now, you're like, oh wow, they're boobs. Like we don't what? And it's just yeah. I imagine it's probably better for the actors not to have like be topless all the time, and probably was a bit sketchy to be honest. And then there was Caligula, and Devil Career's like, and every once in a while there was a dude butt, but only every once in a while. And people freaked out. Dude butts are so scandalous. Kellen says, there was a resurgence in American evangelicism. That's true. Somewhere in response to the sex positive vibe of the 60s and 70s. That's true. That's true. I think there was some, you know how Oliver Reed is. Oliver Reed will just go a little bit wild. There was, and the things a lot of times it was gratuitous. Like, it wasn't like artfully done. It was just like, here's some nudity. And you're like, oh, all right. Yeah, no, I don't actually. See Spider says, I'm pretty sure we still have boobs. We just don't see them. I don't know. Maybe nobody has boobs anymore. I mean, it's entirely possible that boobs do not exist. I mean, yeah. Anyway, what a weird time period we live in, right? Like, we live in a weird time period, and I find that interesting. Yeah, the first part of season 3 of Glow felt like a little like Return to that 70s gratuitous boob and butt things. Oh, that's interesting, Krellin. I haven't seen season 3 yet. I really need to. We got a little bit of Night in the Woods hanging out over there. We'll get there. Game of Thrones, right? Of course, that's being on like sort of cable, but that was like a really, and people talked about it. Rissa's like, trust me, boobs exist. And Game of Thrones has plenty of boobs. And it's interesting, right? Because people commented on them. They commented like, well, we don't know about these boobs, in a way that's like so interesting, because in the 70s there were just a lot of boobs. But yeah, it does. Oh, the boobs and the butts go away after episode 4. I just need to watch that. I need to watch that. This is a thing I need to do, because I liked Glow season 1 and 2, and I should see it. Sal says, to be fair, boobs weren't invented until the 1970s, and we like that show off good old American innovation. I think that's true. I think it was Farrah Fawcett that invented boobs. I'm a little unclear exactly in the timeline of when boobs were invented, but I think it was the 70s. Yeah, I think that's right. Boobs is a ploy by the man. Don't fall for him. It's a conspiracy by the Western capitalists. Oh, no. No, that's right. You know, Krellin is correct. Farrah invented bangs and like super feathered hair. That is correct. Oh, no, B-Boodle's correct. The 50s had some boobs, but they were pointed boobs. She is correct. Very, very pointed boobs. And No Trooper invented in 1968. Bo Derek. I thought Bo Derek invented dreadlocks. Sorry, not dreadlocks, cornrows. I mean, it's very, it's all very complicated. But we live in a different time. We live in a different time. So, Devil Crane's like, for white people, yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, Bo Derek. So let's play Night in the Woods. Yeah, Bo Derek might have invented white girl cornrows. I think she might have done as well. Like, it is unclear for me whether or not she did. You know. Okay, look, hold on. I have to tell you all something, because we're talking about boobs. Do you know what's so interesting? Because we have some Europeans here. Oh, Rissa, I have seen Barbarella. I have indeed seen Barbarella. Krell's like, no, Trooper, talk for 45 minutes. You can play when I leave to watch politicians argue. Wait, I have to tell you. So Americans are funny, right? Europeans, if you don't know this, Americans are funny and about sex. And like little details, like little things are funny about fur-lined spaceship. Oh, Barbarella. Like there are these like little funny differences between Europe and the US that you wouldn't necessarily know unless you travel to both places. So Baron Tor, also Elvira invented boobs. That's fair. Self-burn, Americans are funny looking. So wait. Knee-deep shag carpet in space. Yeah, Barbarella was amazing. But okay, so I went to Germany, and you know what I saw? Like, I have to tell you, because Germans know this, but I didn't know this, because this was crazy. Krellin says, Barbarella was like someone watched Flash Gordon and said, needs more boobs. Krellin, this is fair. Okay, so Devil Crayon, certainly there were boobs on billboards, and that was sort of shocking, right? Also, full frontal male nudity on television. That was pretty shocking. Yeah, right? Like, you're like, oh, hey, there's nakedness. What? But this was crazy. That's such a little small detail that I'd never thought about. I was walking down the street, and you go by the storefronts with the display windows, and they've got mannequins up there. And you know how sometimes the mannequins are not yet clothed? They're just mannequins. So here's the crazy thing. The mannequins in the store window in the place in Germany where I was living, which, by the way, was not like, I was in Augsburg. It wasn't like Berlin or Hamburg or anything. They had nipples. And I realized when I saw the nipples on the mannequins in Germany, both male nipples and female nipples, or female presenting nipples and male presenting nipples, that, because I was weirded out, I was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh, all of our mannequins in the States, they don't have nipples. Huh. And I didn't realize that, it didn't register to me that American mannequins don't have nipples until I was in Germany and saw that German mannequins had nipples. And I was like, oh, huh. And it, like, you know, that was interesting to me. I was like, huh. Small cultural differences, that like these little things. I thought that was interesting, and I thought that was interesting. I suppose so, Sal, but I think it's just about the lines, like what kind of lines you want to have, and we don't have nipples in the United States. Nobody has nipples. That's not true, but you know. I cannot figure out why you would have nipples on mannequins but not genitals. You know, I don't even know. I don't know. Antarctica says, I do know how Europeans are not that pearl twirly about naked bodies as Americans are, which is true. But in Europe, we are far more tight about violence. That is also true. And so, like, it's just interesting to me, right? Like, to see these little differences between countries, and like the little ways, the things you wouldn't necessarily imagine, that you wouldn't think about. Like, those things are interesting to me. And yeah. Right? Like, I'm always fascinated by that. And Krellin says, like, the reason to have nipples applies just the same to genitals. Having them means you can show the way the clothes sit on an actual body better. Right? That is fair. But, you know, and I just think it's interesting what people are scandalized by and what they're not scandalized by, and how much they're scandalized by, and the ways in which that scandalization manifests, and when people will ban things and when they won't, in which various countries, and how that's changed over time. And I think we always assume that societies get more permissive, that there will always like more and more stuff, but actually that's not necessarily true. We kind of pendulum in different ways, and sometimes we're less permissive than we were in earlier decades, and vice versa. Oh, says Devil Crayon, and tying the Dallas and the Blue Lagoon together, Christopher Atkins was in several episodes of Dallas. Huh. One thing that was bad about the 80s, though, seriously, way too much like date rape and sexual assault as like jokes. You know, sometimes you'll get some of those earlier sort of like teen comedies and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is horrible. Like, what were we thinking in the 80s? We were not thinking at all in the 80s is really what was going on. It was bad, worrisome. But by the way, I am going to grow my beard back out. I did want to just trim it, right, and then change its shape a little bit, and then I'm going to grow it back out and then dye it blue. Levi's like, the Coke ears. This is fair. Most rom-coms are super sketch, right? Oh, the Donger and 16 Candles, like there was just so much badness in those, like, you know, and you're like, oh, people was like, women were property in the 70s and 80s. Yeah. Oh, the blue is totally coming back. It's coming back. I just was like, you know what? School's starting. I'm gonna trim myself up and just go. And then like I figured by the time we hit near the end of the semester, I'll have got good growth back so I can bleach it and dye it again, and then I'll be exciting. And then I'll be happy. Nothing redeeming about Grease. Oh, Grease has got some good music. And I love me some Olivia Newton-John, and I love Rizzo, but gosh, are there problems in that movie? You know what I mean? Like, there are problems in that movie, and you're like, oh gosh, this is, you know, that's like, like when you see it when you're 5, you may not realize it, but when you see it when you're older, you're like, oh, wow, this is, oh, that's all. Trooper's non-blue bearders as gray as mine. Yeah, I got some good gray. I actually quite like my gray. I think it's pretty awesome. Oh, Revenge of the Nerds. Ooh, Revenge of the Nerds is super cringeworthy. Rizzo is redeeming to Grease. Rizzo is like, yeah, and she's super interesting, and she's really sort of like, she's got a lot of depth to her, and Stockard Channing does such a good job playing Rizzo. It is, it is good. See, Spider says, Grease is a flying car at the end. Don't do coke and film dudes. Don't do coke and film dudes. I love that. That's really good. I didn't. Origami Shuriken says, I didn't see Grease until I was in my 20s or 30s, and I was just Grimace. It's catchy, but wow. Oh yeah. This Grease is the 70s imagination, the 50s stereotypes. Oh yeah. Atomic says, let me think about Lifetime TV for women, aka watch all these women get abused and abandoned and beaten, cheated on and murdered for women. Oh, Lifetime movies, like, I don't even know what's happening sometimes with them. I'm like, what is going on? But I will say Grease is better than the teenage sex comedies of the 80s, which were bad. Like, I'm thinking about, you saw Grease when I was 7 in the theater. Yeah, I saw Grease when I was 6 in the theater, maybe. Came out in 78. So yeah, I think it was like 6 and I saw it in the theater. Yeah. And there are a bunch of things about Grease that I did not pick up when I was 6 that I picked up later. And I was like, oh my. Yeah. But teenage sex comedies, wow, my friends. Like Porky's was super sketch. Porky's 2 was super sketch. Zapped. I don't know if you probably didn't see Zapped, because why would you? Because it was bad. Levi says Atomica, but then they meet a nice man and their life is fixed. So at least they have no agency. Also, there's a Christmas tree. Levi, the Christmas tree. My science project where they basically make this, yeah, where they basically make a sex slave. Weird Science. That one is super sketch. I was like, who thought this Weird Science was a good idea? I mean, it's got music by Ungo Bongo, so that's cool. But that movie, man, never made me feel comfortable, because I was like, this is like so creepy. The movie is creepy, everybody. Weird Science, like, oh, that's like, oh, ooh. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. My hands were covered in raw chicken a few seconds ago, but as far as sketch sex comedies, Revenge of the Nerds, yeah. Oh, Sal, that one. But Zapped, so Zapped was starring, oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted. Zapped was starring Scott Baio and his blonde curly-headed buddy. Yeah, Dazed and Confused. And it was about where Scott Baio gets psychic powers somehow. He gets zapped and he gets these psychic powers. And like involves him basically groping women and taking off their clothes using his psychic powers. Like, and like, haha, how funny is that? And the woman freaking out all the time. Like, I'm just saying, like, it was just, you know, like, I don't, a lot of like, I mean, Risky Business is about Tom Cruise like starting a brothel in his home, and then Dr. Detroit was about somebody starting a brothel. Like, there's just like, wow. I mean, hey, 1980s, I don't know, like Levi says, all the coke. Like, there was just like, people were making choices in the 80s and it was like not good. Yeah. Sal's like, Grease, tell me more. Did she put up a fight? Yeah, like, seriously? Again, you're like, what is going on here? You make it sound as if it is good that I don't watch TV. Ice Bunny, I think it's good you were maybe not watching American sex comedies in the 1980s, is what I'm trying to say. Atomic says, Scott Baio always creeps you the F out. Oh yeah. I mean, he was, yeah. And like, he was famous because he was Chachi on Happy Days. That's not good. What was the one with Val Kilmer that ended by blowing? Oh, that was Krellin. That was Real Genius, was the one with Val Kilmer. Oh, that's right. Rissa reminds us about Night Shift, where they have a brothel. Like, they were like an obsession with brothels in the 1980s, and I don't know what that was about. Sea Spider just Googled the post for Zapped, and wow. Hey, I don't recommend the movie, and I haven't seen it since then. I remember. Here's the thing: I have not seen Zapped since then, and I remember watching it and thinking, "This is a creepy movie." When I was a small child who did not know better, I was like, oh, this movie's creepy. I haven't seen it since then. I bet it's worse than I even remember it, because I was just a kid at the time. And I bet it's just the worst movie ever. Like, I mean, maybe not the worst, but I bet it's pretty bad. And now I feel like I have to see this movie. Dang it. What about the tall man from Poltergeist sleeping with a guy as a woman before killing him? Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, it was weird. I'm not saying it was better back then. I'm not one of those who's like, oh, back then it was so much better. Some things were okay back then, but like, there were a lot of things that I was like, I'm glad we don't do that anymore, because a lot of that stuff was like, do you know what I mean? Some of that stuff's like, I don't know what you were thinking. And like, and we have good movies in the past, but there were a lot of things. I mean, do you remember I mean, just the whole Benny Hill. We would sort of import Benny Hill from the UK, and like I'm just like he's playing a dirty old man ogling women who are running around in boobs. Like what is this? Like why is this a show? Oh, and then Pretty Woman. Oh, it was better back then. It's a thing only white people can really say, and only some white people. Like not like there are a lot of white people who can't even say that because they were poor. Do you know what I mean? Like it was not good. It was not good back then. It was not good. I mean. Yeah. And like a lot of women can't say that either because, yeah, back then, man. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Poor or queer or not male. Yeah, there are just a bunch of people for whom the past was not all that fun. And I will tell you what, I'm happy myself to be living in the present day and not back in the day. I mean, if I had a... Benny Hill, they allowed that show. They showed Benny Hill in the States. Now, I don't know if the Benny Hills that we got were censored. I don't know that because I've never seen Benny Hill in the UK. But we did have a version of Benny Hill that was played in the States. Late night. Yeah, Rissa says it was late night. And I don't know if it was different in Europe than it was in the US, but we did have it. Yeah. It seeped into my favorite pastime. I still remember George the Animal Steel kidnapping Miss Elizabeth from... Yeah. Atomica. I remember when George the Animal Steel kidnapped Miss Elizabeth from the Macho Man. I remember that too. I remember that as well. Yeah. Right? Oh. Wow. Like, there's just a lot. There's a lot. I'm glad we're here. This is what I'm glad about. I'm glad we're here. Look. Oh, wait, we're going to play Night in the Woods, but I just want to tell you all something. Before we play Night in the Woods, I just want to tell you, Devil Cran says, we don't have the same watershed flip and standards, but we're a bit more relaxed in the later evenings. Oh, that's interesting. Because, who was it? Wait, Benny Hill was a college professor? Huh. Well, that's interesting. Wasn't she the manager of the $1 Million Man at one point? Oh, maybe she was. Maybe. Levi, 1.5 hours into the stream. One thing before we start Night in the Woods. Look, Levi, I know I get distracted, but I haven't spoken to you all in so long, and I've missed you all, and there's been like a lot going on. That's all. Before we play Night in the Woods, I just want to tell you, y'all valid as fucking awesome folk. Thank you, Sal, and back at you. Hugs, Sal. Hugs to you. That's what I want to say. Night Shift was directed by Ron Howard. Oh my gosh. George Steele. Yeah. And we lost the Wednesday stream. Right, I know, right? We lost our Wednesday stream where our chit chat happened. Hugs. Run away. Don't worry, Jedi hugs. Like Jedi hugs. That's all. Jedi hugs. I wanted to tell you something. I have been a little stressed, and I deal with stress. I have for me, a little stressed for me is what I would say. Trooper, you just need to admit you need catch-up streams when you skip and stop planning to play games. Wait, sounds like Jedi. Those are the worst. Hugging Jedi are pretty creepy. You have to watch out for them because they will probably mind control you. But I've been a little stressed recently, and please note I'm always over packed with lots and lots of stuff to do, but I just haven't been able to listen to music in the last couple of days, and it's been a lot, and so I've just been a little bit stressed. And then I haven't seen you all for a week, and then I was like, and I was like, oh, we'll go to stream, and then I was like, oh, it's like the gang's all here, and so basically you've made me just feel really happy at this moment, and I want you to know it, so you know. So you know what, Ice Bunny, WF were the dream dudes for my best friend and me when we were teens. A big teen. You like the guys that look strong enough to lift a big butt like me. You know, Sal, listening to music is my job, but there's a difference between listening to the music I need to listen to for class, which at the moment is Blackface Minstrelsy, and we just got into Ragtime, and listen to something that I want to listen to because it'll just make me happy. Do you know what I mean? And so I just need to listen to some stuff that is not really offensive and depressing. I need to listen to some more contemporary music. Because it's we're doing it's the history of African American music. We're hitting we're in the early moments, but we're doing the blues on Monday, so at least we've sort of moved out of the of the 18th century for real. So that's nice. So we get to do some good stuff, and I'm just like, right there we go, big love right there. Hey everybody. Wait, how is white people pretending to be black part of black music history? So what happens is that because it's sort of like white people taking it from black people, and then after the Civil War, and this is where it gets like creepy, right? Then after the Civil War, black people have to do blackface, right? So we talk about that moment where you have black people sort of making this imagination, white people making an imagination of black people, a grotesquerie, and creating these stereotypes of black people that we sadly still live with today. And then black people, when they get out of enslavement, they can either stay on the same plantations where they have been enslaved, or they become blackface minstrels, and then they have to wear the blackface themselves, and then they have to perform these stereotypes that were made up about them, and the sort of grotesque, harmful stereotypes, if they just want to sort of get out of sort of plantation life. And then so we want to talk about the fundamental tension that a lot of black artists have to deal with, where this tension between how do they perform music, how do they perform after blackface minstrelsy, where all these stereotypes exist, and whatever they do can be sort of slotted into one of these stereotypes and twisted into something terrible. And when, like, what do you do when you don't control your own reception, right? Like, you can sort of put out music as you want to, but then you don't control how it's received. So then we think about, so like we had to talk about, for example, we're talking today about ragtime, and we're talking about, like, so look, here's Scott Joplin, and Scott Joplin was like, ragtime, it's very complicated, and you can't play it fast, and it's really, like, he does all this work to try to make ragtime seem like classical music, because he's responding to blackface minstrelsy, but then people turn it into this anyway. And so the ways in which, like, do you look happy on stage? If you look happy on stage, then people might think that you're like an Uncle Tom or a Mammy. But if you look angry on stage, then people might think that, like, you're a Jim Dandy. And then how do you manage the fact that no matter what you do, this legacy of blackface minstrelsy is going to sort of be laid upon you? And that is this thing that musicians, especially in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, are always trying to deal with. And so we have to talk about blackface minstrelsy so we can think about how people deal with it. You know what I mean? And so we had to, like, deal with some, like, kind of gross stuff this week, really. It was a bunch of gross stuff this week, but you need to know it. White people pretend to be black is like the entirety of American history. Or Native Americans, they do that too. Those are things that happen. Yeah. Levi says, Joyner Lucas has a song about that in modern times. Really? Levi, will you link the song in our Discord, because I want to hear it, because I think it might be really exciting for me for my classes. Yeah. Imagine how different it would have been, says Krellin, if the former slaves had gotten their 40 acres and had their own money to spend on entertainment. Yeah, can you imagine if instead of, like, I mean, yes, Atomica says, it literally was still something being dealt with currently. Look at how people dealt with Sammy Davis Jr.'s F you, I do what I want attitude. Oh yeah, like, it's really it's something that you always have to sort of deal with, and it's like, and to understand those tensions, I think, is important. And because we're going to be looking at all of this music from onwards, and we have to think, okay, how do we think about this? Levi says, I need to figure out the title. It plays on my Pandora, but I listen to it on devices without screens. That's fair. But if you find it, please tell me. And then Double Crayon says, and then there's a discussion that some gangster rap is seen by some as more modern minstrelsy. Yep, right. So this becomes this real problem. Like, is that sort of like super violent gangster, is that actually just a revisioning of old minstrel stereotypes? What do you do about that? Like, and how do you, right, sort of, and even if you don't mean it to be, then it can still be made to be that. So there's like a lot, like, I feel like you have to know, and also blackface minstrelsy was like the beginning of the U.S. popular music industry and sort of like national, because before you had like regional things, but that really sort of made like that is the basis of our entertainment industry is blackface minstrelsy. So you have to know it to sort of go through and figure out what are the reactions against it and how do people deal with that. And like that's like a like it's like heavy, it's big. Krellin says, or if Lincoln hadn't been assassinated, or if his VP hadn't been a Democrat who immediately went back pro-South, anti-black, or if Grant had been competent, or if Hayes hadn't sold out black people to other, right? Like all these what ifs, right? There are all these ways in which there's so many different things that could have happened in different ways. And I was thinking about this theme. Thinking about Sal says in American literature, the saying is all Southern literature is written about the Civil War. This discussion of minstrel stereotypes sounds similar. Mm-hmm. And like we have to think about that. We have to think about where are the roots in our industries. And I forgot the thing I was going to tell you all. Like I had a thought about this and then I forgot about it. But all that post-war stuff, as a history buff, ex major, is stuff I think about when people talk about how bad Trump is. You know, I think about that too. Like I always laugh when people say we are more divided than we've ever been in the United States. It's like, really? Ever? Are we more divided than we were during the Civil War? Come on. You know what? Like, it's not like it's great, but I mean, we had an actual Civil War. Come on, right? DeVille Crayon. Or if the U.S. had had a social democratic uprising in 1848 like Europe did, instead of a racist war against Mexico. Yeah. Because he's a bad president, but the rhetoric painting him as the worst president is just, no, we've had, like, how about Andrew Jackson? Andrew Jackson's a pretty bad president. I mean, like, he's up there on my list of super bad presidents. I mean, let's try to have some historical sense, right? Krellin's like, Trump isn't even the worst president of my lifetime. Sal, more divided than we've ever been? What about when we were actually killing each other over whether or not black people were people? And Trump is like, Krellin says Trump is basically a modern Jackson. Yeah, but he hasn't yet defied the Supreme Court with an army, so let's hope, right? Let's hope that one. I have this thought I keep wanting to tell you and I keep forgetting. What was it? I was going to talk about George W. Johnson, probably. Yet. No, not yet death marches. So this is right? So when I teach this class, I start that class, History of African American Music, with sort of the earliest music. So I talk about work songs, banjo tunes, and spirituals, like things like Follow the Drinking Gourd, and it's sort of thinking about how do you operate within a system of oppression? Like when you're literally an enslaved person, I remember what I was going to tell you. How do you sort of make music in this sort of system, right? Where the music is being used as a way to sort of allow you to survive an oppressive situation, but also it is also being used by others to contribute to that oppressive situation. So like we start there, and then, so we're looking at the 1700s, right? And then we move all the way up to the present day. That's what we do in the class, and we only get 13 weeks, so it's got to go. Start playing the game. It'll totally come back to me. That is exactly right. Atomic says, I think the problem is most people don't understand that because things are so screwed up that Trump has so little actual ability to do anything lasting, except just make people a little bit miserable in the moment. Ice Bunny, well, I heard that the racism in Europe is more cultural racism than race-based racism. That's not true, Ice Bunny. Talk to Black Germans, and they will tell you that is certainly race-based, or Black British, or Turkish Germans. Also, the Nazis said that Jewishness was a race, and that was certainly race-based. There's a lot of like race-based racism in Europe, but Europe likes to pretend like it's only the United States that's racist, because it's super convenient for them. But oh yeah, it's in Europe. It's there. Oh, and France with like, oh, it's there. It's there. That's the second term thing. It was hi, come into my party next month and I'll make snacks. Maybe. Atomic, Trump will be a footnote. That's true. That means they hit on what people believe and not the ethnicity. Oh no, they do that too. Ice Bunny, they totally do that too. To sort of imagine that that Europe is only like upset because people believe things that aren't cool. Still have Nazis in Europe, Ice Bunny. There's still Nazis in Europe. Lots of Nazis who are full-on white supremacist. Yeah, and like it's there. It's there all over Europe. Yes, thank you. And share size and Romani, and that's all racism. Like that's like, yeah. I mean, it's but it's interesting to me that that I've always been fascinated. Dang it, people, just distract me with these really interesting thoughts. I'm always. Krellin notes that nothing has changed. Entertainment is still the strongest avenue to success available to Black people. That's true. That's true. And that's always going to be like a real tension. It's tricky. Oh, yeah, Krellin. Yeah. Oh, what's his face? And of course, Europe has got like history of colonialism. So like it's in there. You know what I mean? Like it's in there. I just had a thought and I wanted to like say what it was. Right? Oh, I remember what it was. So something that I think is so fascinating, that I think is so interesting, that I've long been, what's going on? That I've long been, and Krellin says the difference between race and ethnicity is semantics, and that is also true because they're, yeah. So I've been so obsessed with the relationship between the United States and Europe in terms of what kind of a fantasy does each have about the other in different time periods and what they want from each other. So for example, in the United States, if you look at how we portray Europe and and this changes over time, right? But what we use Europe for, we were like especially for a really long time, we'd have lots and lots of, we will mostly only import your Oscar bait films, not your trashy films or your comedies, all that kind of stuff, but mostly like your super high art stuff is what we import from Europe. And we were, in the United States, we were super into, and we kind of still are, your historical costume dramas with only white people in them. Like we love the monarchies. We love Jane Austen with only white people in it. We love this idea that somehow Europe is all white and it's just sort of like their castles and this particular fantasy of Europe. That is not true, right? Because Europe is multicultural, is multiracial, and it has been for hundreds and hundreds of years. And there are also poor people in Europe. But like that is not what we import from Europe. We import this particular kind of fantasy of Europe. And then on the flip side, Europe likes to import our trashiest stuff. It's like there's these like really interesting things of what we want from each other, and I find that fascinating. Like I think that's really interesting. Like why is it that Europeans want our trashier stuff? Why is it that like Europeans, not all Europeans, but like a number of like British musicians loved American Black people, would go on and on about American Black people and how French loved American Black people in the 20s and 30s, and British people loved American Black people in the 60s, but they didn't like Black people in their own countries, right? So there are these really interesting things of like a projection of like diversity onto the United States that then can be cool, but then you'll erase your own, and then we project this kind of homogeneity on Europe. I mean, I don't know. We've got some weird messed up relationship between the two sort of continents, which is really fascinating. Really fascinating. I'm fascinated by it. Finns are often called Mongols by fascists, which is really dumb. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're also like I mean, you have the Sami, you have like, they're like Romani, you've got a lot of people in Europe that we are not. Yeah. Yes. And the Crohn's like, except for Benny Hill. Yes. Ice Space says, I don't say they didn't. Danish Folk Party is the best example. If you look at the politics from them, they look like simpletons. But you know, they're getting a lot of votes in different places too. PBS brought me Red Dwarf, Auger, Red Dwarf, Black Adder, Blake 7. Blake 7 was part of my jam, and of course Doctor Who. B Boodle, we all live in castles. I know, B Boodle. I am certain that you all live in castles in Europe and you all like are fancy and speak with the Queen's English, even if you're in a non-UK country, everybody speaks with like also the ancient Rome, British accents, fancy. All of our fanciness is somehow we're amazing. Anything outside of London, we want Americans playing it. Braveheart. That being said, a weird reversal, Blinded by the Light, about a Pakistani kid in Britain falling in love with Bruce Springsteen was amazing. Oh, I really wanted to see that. It looked really interesting. I really wanted to see Blinded by the Light. Rissa, do we expect to play the game tonight? Not that I mind the discussion, but I would like to see it of May's story. I do too. I really want to play it. Mr. Bean. I was a Tom Baker, Krellin. I was a Tom Baker. Tom Baker was my first Doctor. I would go back and see some of the older ones, but Tom Baker was my first. Although I did end up having a good appreciation for the following Doctors. Like I was always happy. Like I was happy with Peter Davidson and actually even Colin Baker. I liked Sylvester McCoy. I liked all the Doctors, but you know, Tom Baker was my first Doctor that I have such a space in my heart for. The Queen's Danish too. I don't speak Breda Gada, by the way. Yeah, I was playing some of the Kingdom Come. It's set in Bohemia of Czechia, and the English dubs are all with British accents, right? Like, okay, wait, let's do some historical, medieval Bohemia British accents. This is, you know, I don't know what we're all about. I don't know what we're about. Eddie Izzard, you think we all live in castles, and we do. We have a castle each. We're up to our ears in castles. We long for a bungalow. Oh, Eddie Izzard, I love some Eddie Izzard so much. B Boodle, I think you got a lot of upper class stuff because those are the people who have the connections to make TV like that, and that I think is also true. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio play was my earliest exposure to UK culture. Unless the Franas, and then we have something close to their accurate accents. Yeah, it's so fascinating. That's the game that claimed it was historically accurate for there to be no black people, as if Europe and Africa haven't always had cultural exchange, and also didn't want to like. Council estate people didn't really get into the media so much back then. You know, and that's actually really interesting, B-Boodle. Like, you just were not, like, if you were working class in the UK or not from the London area, you just didn't have representation. Like, there was maybe some of the kitchen sink dramas from the 50s, but there was very little representation of people who were not posh or acting like they were posh. I mean, some things here and there, but it was like, you know, classism is real in the UK, right? It's real. As if the King of Mali wasn't literally the model for like every medieval noble for like 500 years. EastEnders, my friend. Devil Crayon. EastEnders was my soap. My British soap was EastEnders. That's the one that I loved. So here's the thing. We're going to do our giveaway right now so that we can then start Night in the Woods. We're going to do our giveaway. Our giveaway is I Am a Monster, and it is a turn-based tactical game, and I'm going to give it away in about 5 minutes. Sea Spider's like, congratulations on the win, Krellin. And I want to do it now so that Nightbot can pick Krellin because, you know, I know how Nightbot is. I know they got their relationship going on. So we're going to just like chat for like 5 more minutes, and then we're going to go do the giveaway, and then we're going to play Night in the Woods because I want to find out what happens. Devil Crane's like, but now it's time to go to the gym. Have a great rest of your stream. Thank you, DC. And DC's like, I'm leaving because I know there's going to be a game now. So this is how it is. Talking about posh accents gives him guilt. No, Trooper says Sal, I'm the monster. You know what's interesting? Did you hear King of Mali literally destroyed Egypt economy? Hey, did you hear that stupid thing that Roger Moore said? Stupid thing. Roger Moore said something dumb by himself on his own. Whoa, King of Mali. What? So I don't know if you know this. You UK people know this, but people who are not from the UK, you may not know this. Borderlands 3 drops tomorrow. For the longest time, if you were going to be on the news, you'd be speaking with received pronunciation. So like the Queen's English, that particular kind of generic, made-up, fictional accent for posh people. And the one time James Bond, Roger Moore. So it was this sort of that particular accent that we think of for like the fancy British accent, which is kind of a made-up accent. But basically, it was basically policy that the BBC would only have people with those accents, so you were not getting people with regional accents on the news and that sort of a thing. And it was basically it was like kind of the standard. That was like the push. And some time ago, I can't tell you exactly when it was. I don't know if it was like 20 years ago, but the BBC, there was like a push to maybe actually diversify the BBC's media representation of people and bring in more people with regional accents and different accents. And so they were like really trying to make a push to sort of, allow people to sound different. And Roger Moore, my friends, he said in an interview that it's sort of terrible that they were doing this, and that his daughter, who has a posh accent, is being discriminated against because she speaks proper British, and like that's not what they're into anymore. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, Roger Moore. Noting that one, like it was like, I'm sure Roger Moore's daughter is just fine, but like that was creepy. Yes, Chrome, that is correct. Atomica says, the BBC is one of the reasons I adapt to foreign accents as quickly as I can. B Boodle says, he said Bond should be in English when there was talk of Idris Elba playing him. Yeah, okay, but like, I mean, English, because of course Idris Elba is English. He's English, but of course that's not what Roger Moore meant. But also, how many English Bonds have we actually had? Sean Connery was Scottish. Timothy Dalton was Irish. George Lazenby was Australian. So I suppose we've had 2, right? Maybe. But I mean, come on, Idris Elba was like super English. Atomica says, Ice Bunny says, class is a thing in Germany. Oh yeah. Or more a thing in Germany. And now I get heat from my uncles especially as a woman, for having a BA next time one of them tries to make me feel bad. I'm going to tell them that it does not have to think about my word. Yeah. Like, I think, Idris Elba is totally English, right? He's like, yeah, Roger Moore. I would really love, I have a thought about the next Bond. Anarch W says, it really bothers me when Americans create English characters and they sound nothing like anyone from anywhere from England. Tracer voice really annoys me. I can totally see that, Anarch W, because it's this sort of like a place where no one is from, right? Like, what is that? Like, England is a place where people actually live. I mean, I got picked on as a kid for speaking with a clipped upper middle class accent, which is when I started slurring my words a bit. I get that, Control Freak. I do. Wasn't there muttering about Tessa Thompson being the next Bond? Because fuck yeah. I think actually, it's okay, you're slow type, Rice Bunny. I think actually she's the next 007, but not the next Bond, maybe? Right? It'd be like if all American characters in Britain spoke with an Atlantic accent. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, I was thinking about Bond. Do you know what I would really love for Bond? I would love for the next Bond to be Indian, Anglo-Indian. I think that would be really cool. I'd be really interested in the next Bond being Anglo-Indian. Like, Idris Elba would be a great Bond as well, but I think an Anglo-Indian Bond would be really interesting. Because I'm really interested, like, I think there are a lot of really interesting stories you could tell about Bond, the representative of the state, also being a person who has a history as being colonized, and like what is that relationship between Bond as a person who had been whose people had been colonized, and now as Bond, this particular Bond as the representative of the state and doing like the instrument of the state on a global level. Like that, I think would be like, I feel like you could do some really, like the really good actor, you could get some really good stuff going on there. Of course, Idris Elba would also be great. So like I'd be excited to tell some different Bond stories than the ones we're getting. I would love that. Ice Bunny says the Bond books were all about the eating. Oh yeah. Sal bangs their fists on the table. Gay Bond, gay Bond, gay Bond. Ajit for Bond. Ajit would be a great Bond. I just want a Bond who and Tracer's VA is actually from England, which is really weird. Oh, that's weird. Huh. B-Boodle, I'd like a woman Bond as well as a woman Doctor Who. Oh, well, we've got a woman Doctor Who now, right? So that's really good. I want to take you to the gay Bond, the gay Bond, the gay Bond. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what is interesting though is that I sort of feel like if we're going to be realistic about it, Bond would be having sex with whoever he needed, or she or they needed to have sex with in order to get the information. Their sexuality wouldn't matter that much, right? Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, and so I think there would be some kind of recognizing that Bond uses their sexuality as a tool, which is not the same as their interpersonal sexual identity, right? And I think that it's a job, and that actually it's not cool, that it's not fun, that that it's not like, ooh, hey, wah, but it's more like, oh, right? And I think I think there's just a lot you could do with Bond that would be really interesting. That's what I think. And I think that sometimes they don't always do it. That's all. People's like, I think Bond is bi. Makes sense to me. They should focus on the eating in the Bond films too. Well, they focus on conspicuous consumption for real. No, I think the op 4 uses Bond's sexuality as a tool. Oh, Sal. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm typing winner because Krellin's got me. Krellin's got my back. Winner. Chicken dinner. That's not even how you spell it. That's not how you spell winner. Sorry. Atomica, I love how big women are getting in media. I'm a huge wrestling fan, and the women are really coming up across the board. Oh, yeah. Winner? For those of you who do not see the chat, Nightbot picked Krellin as the winner, and look, like, Nightbot's supposed to pick somebody randomly from those who've spoken in the last 5 minutes, and I just think this is hilarious. Nightbot is obsessed with you, Krellin. Hey, Krellin, would you like this one, or would you like me to redraw it? I just want to know. This is a question I have. Thank you so much. I'm in a restaurant and everyone's staring because I just died laughing. I mean, it is amazing. Nightbot is totally in love with Krellin, and Krellin's like, Nightbot, is that you, Monica? I'm gonna redraw in principle to see. Here we go. Be Boodle! Be Boodle! Be Boodle! Be Boodle! Be Boodle! Be Boodle, you have won I'm a Monster. And I am very, very excited about this. And I am right now going to send you the key for, I'm going to whisper you, this is the code for the I'm a Monster, and I'm very glad to have been able to send it to you. That's but I just want to know how often this is going to happen. Like, is this, like, this is the thing, right? I think this is I actually am a little low-key obsessed with this thing between Krellin and Nightbot. Like, I don't know what it's about, but I'm obsessed with it. ABC has a diversity quota covered. Of the 6 commenters of the debate, they have 4 white dudes and 2 women, 1 white, 1 black. Oh, so they got it covered. Debate. Only took 2 draws. All right, my friends, we're gonna play Night in the Woods. We've got like an hour and some, and I want to find out, because right, last time we went under and we did a bunch of exploring. Krell boy, thank you, Krellin. Go watch The Politicians and let me know. Ooh. I feel like we've got all sorts of things to do. Let's talk to this person. I mean, I feel like we have more of the town to explore, but I don't even know how much more we have to explore, because you know how it is. Do I know you? No. Oh. Aren't you Greg's cousin? You really look like his cousin. Not his cool cousin Jen, like the other cousin? No. Who are you then? Like, why are you here? I'm trying to find your city council. Town council, we're a town. Right. Why are you looking for them? Supposed to be demoing in an infrastructure in municipal services management program. What? Helps you manage things like snowplows and broken hydrants and stuff. Fair warning, Trooper. If it looks like you get to the absolute endgame, I'm a bounce. Oh, here's the thing, Atomica. We're in Act 3 still. We're not even in. There are 4 acts. We're in Act 3, and we haven't even investigated any of the ghost parts. So I feel like you've got time before you'll have to bounce. I feel like you've got maybe even a couple of weeks. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, we have those sometimes. I just figured it'd be helpful. I don't know. Lots of places are just scared of new things. They just want to keep things like they are forever, falling apart. It's frustrating. You're really into this, huh? I mean, it's my job, so... I had a job. I bagged groceries. Could you program something to make that job not suck? Well, soon it's all gonna be robots anyway, so... Geez, yeah. Huh. I got it! You're Donna's cousin! Yeah! She used to babysit me. Oh, wow. Are you the kid that killed a bird with her mace? It was an accident, and I was like 9. I thought it was perfume or something. I thought that the bird would like it. Well, you were 9. It died, like, instantly. Just... ack! Woof! Dead. Oh my god. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. Good luck. Try not to kill anything. No promises. I'm planning an 8-hour session Saturday, so yeah, I mean, I don't do 8-hour sessions. I do like 1.5-hour sessions, maybe. So, I don't know. She might have like got her hands on an actual spiked mace. That's what I was thinking too. Atomica. Adark Dovey says, size of towns, cities, towns, and villages compared to Europe is strange. In Europe, a city would only be called a town. By the way, I think we have to go back eventually. Hey. What? Want to hang out? I got plans later. Okay, well, I don't think you're gonna get kidnapped or anything. Nah. Cool. See ya. 1.5 hour sessions to 1 hour sessions more like. Whoa. How did he get over this thing? I can't jump that. No way he could have. There's no hole. How did he do it? I mean, I guess he could really be a ghost. He's not a ghost. I think he's a ghost. He's not a ghost. Ugh. What's out there? I don't know. Oh neat, looks like Roll20 has sheets for blue. Do they really? Interesting, because I'll have to check it out, because their policy is that you have to have a choice in your gender, and so that has been their policy. Maybe they'll make an exception for Bluebeard's Bride, but and in Bluebeard's Bride you don't actually have a choice of your gender. So I'll be interested to see. I'm not gonna go to the Snack Falcon just yet. I'm not doing it. Why? I think it's because they want people to be affirming and open and welcoming to people of all genders. But some games, right, and they like, it's their policy. But some games are actually about only playing X, Y, or Z, and so like that's a bit of a. It's why I didn't submit. Like I made that Night Witch's character sheet. I made it all nice, and I didn't submit it because it's against their policy. So I was like, well, then I will not submit it. Hey, you never told me why you were feeling down the other day. Do I gotta tell you everything? Nah, I was just asking is all. Well, ask someone else. Weird. Well, you know, it might be a loophole if gender is not on the sheet at all. That's a good thought. That is a good thought, Jer. What is this? What's this? Oh, I think this is I think this is the apartment where Greg lives. In my opinion, it would be opposite and only enforces. Well, no. The thing is, Anarchy, they want you to be able to write in whatever gender you want, so it doesn't reinforce the gender binary because you have to be able to put in any gender you want. So anything would be is the requirement. So right, they're working, I think, to try to resist the gender binary. Is what I would say their intention is. What they're actually doing may be a slightly different question, but you know, that's their goal. Hey Denise, how are you doing? Yay for visiting my stream. Yes, I have to meet. And Anarch Debbie, intent is not the same as effect, and that is true. And I do need to meet Angus. What's in here? What's in here? I'm just jumping around buildings. What is this? I've not been here. What? Holy shit. That's a lot of birds. You're tired but happy. I credit so bad when I figured out how to work the buzzer. Me too, Atomica. Because the gender binary is bullshit. I approve of the intent, if not the implementation. Yeah, me too. I also improve the intent, but I also feel like the problem is, I think that one cannot be dogmatic and rigid about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't say, well, it must always be this way, because actually there's some instances where it is probably good for it to be a different way. Like, just to allow diversity of approaches as well. That's all I would say. This Saxman does remind me of May's Dreams. This is interesting, and it is new, Rissa. Ooh, let's talk to this person. Hello? Hello. I'm May. Sadie. What are you doing up here? What are you doing up here? Exploring? I mean, do I need a reason? We're gonna go with exploring. Exploring? Saxy times. Same way I found it. Did you know this is the only stage in town? That's not true. I don't know if that's true, but we're gonna say it. We just did a play at the hardware store. We used the counter as a stage. Okay, this is the only stage in town. That's only a stage. Looks like no one's played her in a long time. Yeah, been a few decades. Are you gonna like... Oh, B Boodle says, "'Tis 1 a.m. here. Sorry to win and run, but my bed is calling. Good night, good people." Good night, B Boodle. Sleep well, and tell us how you like I Am a Monster when you play it. Are you gonna like put on something here? Oh, I don't think anyone's gonna be putting anything on here. At least not anytime soon. No electricity, probably structurally unsound, infested with rats and pigeons. Other than electricity, like, that's like most of the town. That it is. Oh, hey, look, there's a pentagram. Huh, pentagram. What do you think that pentagram's doing here? My bedtime was an hour ago, but I want to watch the stream. We gotta find out more about what's happening. Like, we're learning all the things. Oh, hey. I fell a little bit. in ways that were a tad inappropriate. Also, I don't think we are... Oh, hey. Hello. What's in the news? Yam shortage this Thanksgiving. Ah, geez, we need the yams. Better get them now before they're gone. There's gonna be, like, yam riots. Because not enough yams. Worse reasons. No, the kidnapping has not been solved at all, Sea Spider. It's still a mystery. We need to go and, like, we're going to go and investigate ghosts, which I actually think is probably a bad idea, but nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me at all. We're gonna... Oh! Nor the orphaned arm. Wait. That was Angus, and I want to talk to him because I feel like we can investigate stuff with him, but I also feel like we haven't finished investigating everything. Because I feel like don't we have a pretzel that we can give somebody? Like, don't we know? Don't we have a pretzel, maybe? I feel like we have a pretzel. Well, apparently that's all we got. So, here we go. All right, we're gonna come back to Angus. Yeah, we should hang out with our mom. I don't think we actually went to the church yet. And I feel like we need food for our rat kids. I can't believe they just leave the band stuff in there. What if somebody steals it? What if the building falls down? I should start taking Greg's bass home. Just, you know, in case. Food for the rat babies. Also clear there's got to be a way over there. We're gonna... There's the pickaxe. We should go and check that out as well. People hanging out on the street. This town, man. Ooh. We'll make our way. I don't think we've got to find our way back to the rat kids. Say hi to our mom a little bit. See how she's doing. Just, you know, because we haven't checked out the whole places. Always be jumping, though. Hello. Hey, Mom. Hey, you free? Maybe? Want to go on a quick adventure? Don't you have a job? Pastor's gone. I'm going to skip out. Ah, yeah. We're going to go and hang with our mom. We're going to hang with our mom. She was, and that's why we're going to hang with her. Let's skip work. I'm skipping work, hon. Oh, hush. I'm an accessory to the crime. Also not a crime, sweetie. We're going to do something with our mom. I don't think I've ever been up here. We used to come here all the time. Did we? No, we as in my friends and I when we were your age. Oh, okay. I'm not used to you using any other we's. Believe it or not, I've had several we's. Huh. That's our May, not really thinking outside of herself. What is here? Mom? You know, I still blame Morrowind for my need to jump everywhere in games. Damn athletic skill. Oh, Atomica. Me too. I like how it's all bright. Nice contrast. Yeah, me too. This is nice. Used to be a lot more trees around up here. They got cut down when they put in the towers. I don't remember that. You know, all kinds of things happened before you were born. What? Some minor parts of history took place, yes. Yes. We're walking with our mom. So, what is this place? Jenny's Field. Ever heard of it? No, I don't think. back in the 30s, there was this woman and her daughter walking here, and the woman's daughter is in front of her, and then she's just gone, like disappeared. What happened? Turns out there was a sinkhole that opened up when a pillar collapsed in the mines in the hill. Jeez. Yep, no one could see it because of the grass. Her name was Jenny. This is Jenny's field. They never found her. Just whisp. Gone. So, wait. Why are we here? I blame Oblivion and B hopping for me need to jump everywhere. What? You not up for a little risk taking? Yeah, maybe she is. She might be. Maybe she's messing with us. She's gonna kill me. I've had enough of your shite. Maybe. This is the part. As it turns out, the story is very different than we think it is because it involves May's mom. Ah! What's wrong? I thought it was a sinkhole thing. How about that? Mom? Welcome to the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Welcome to the jungle. Mom? I think I might need to jump out. I did. I had to jump out. Oh, hey. What's this? Oh, okay. What is that? For some reason, before Unified pulled out, they brought this old lime furnace up on the mountain. Why? Who knows? Unified did a lot of things. Looks like it's been here forever. It's just sunk into the ground a lot. Like Jenny. But slower. We used to climb up there. Want to try? Oh, sweetie. I had you and also a lot of birthdays and donuts since then. Oh, I want donuts. Gang, I have to tell you something. There's gonna be a brand new bagel place opening up near where I live that got like a special bagel machine. We'll be doing the bagels fresh and like the real old school style where you boil them first and then you put them in the oven. And I will live for some fresh bagels. Side note, that is a thing. Jer, May's mom is the kidnapper, and that's why we never get to go into her room. Yes. Pink donut boxes, Falcon. Jer just figured out mom and dad's secret kink. Kidnapping. And not much climbing. But you know our May. So, good thing this chimney is sealed up here. That's a weird sentence. Yeah, good thing. What can you see up there? It's been a while. Possum Springs in most of the valley, the highway. We're gonna go with Possum Springs in most of the valley. That's more picturesque. It turns out this is the story of a serial killer family, and May's about to enter the family business. Yeah! What does it look like? A quilt? Like someone dumped out some blocks. We're going to go with a quilt? Well, it's a cozy valley. I remember I couldn't tell if being up there made everything feel bigger or smaller. It's a weird feeling. Yeah, I know that one. I used to have a dream when I was your age, where I was in the big parking lot out by the tracks, and I'd start running, but there was always more parking lot. What do you think it meant? I don't know. Feels weird to tell you what your dreams mean. Why? You're my mom! Fair. She's totally trying to kill her. What would be a reasonable alternate story for Grandpa's tooth? This is a good question. I want to say stranger danger, but that's her mom. Why did we come up here today? For murder! Well, I was hoping you'd fall into a sinkhole, obviously. That didn't work out. Drat. Guess I'll just have to keep you. I couldn't see what your expression was when you said that. Do you need to? No. Well, see you at home. I like how the little tail is just following the mom. Hey! Wow. Yeah. And mom's showing her the lime furnace because that's how they dispose of the bodies. That's fair. Small towns are like straitjackets. Murder games are very relaxing while I'm cleaning the drawers out. That's fair. But Denise, what are your murder games? Do they involve you murdering people? I'm just asking. The thing is, I feel like this game has got a lot of weird bits to it, and we'll find out. You know so little about your parents. Everything before you exist, you have to take their word on completely. That is so true. Oh, I love Hitman. Denise, I'm just asking because, maybe I might ask you to do a little bit of murder at some point in time if you were up for it. Like, if I had a little bit of murder that I needed on the side out in California, we could like murder trade like strangers on a train. That would work out. Right? No? Denise is usually up for a little murder. Oh yeah, just a little murder. Yeah, so clearly we actually hadn't walked over here before, so that's good. Joking aside, that was a good bonding moment. Mom trying to show Maya that they weren't so different at her. Yeah, right? Like this was clearly this really interesting moment of trying to show her that they actually have a lot in common. Yeah. You good. Except for the premeditation in the recording of the stream. You guys are so bad at murder. You're right, Rissa. We shouldn't have said it, the premeditation, on the stream. Wah, wah. Small towns often have really dark histories. There's a reason why Stephen King wrote it, besides Coke. Both. And this is the plot from Throw Mama from the Train. Getting kind of cold, huh? Yep, nip in the air at night. I like fall when it gets cold. Me too. Real pretty out as well. I used to cry at fall trees when I was a kid. Why? Because they were so pretty. I did that when my daughter was born. You have a daughter? Yep. Where is she? Oh, sorry. It's fine. May does not... We can talk about it. Have I taught you nothing? Asks Rissa. It's a good question. I'm not entirely sure that Throw Mom from the Train actually had a plot, says Skexy. Also, hi, Skexy. Denise says, if you talk about it a lot, people think you're kidding and quit paying attention when you murder to your... Yeah, right, we could just say, well, of course we couldn't have done it because we said so on stream, so it couldn't be a real murder. Come on, who would do that? Then we win. Hey, Jen. Hey, Maborovsky. Yeah, what are you doing back here? Does Greg know you're back? Nah, just here for a day. Had to pick up some stuff from Greg's mom. Hauling back to school tonight. Didn't you go to school? What are you doing here? I dropped out, kinda, same as you, just... Let's be honest. I dropped out. Kinda? That's mysterious. Oh, sorry to hear that. Whatever. What are you going for? I want to do fashion design. Is that a job you can get? Theoretically. You still go crossbow hunting? Greg used to have a crossbow too, I think. Yeah, I still hunt rabbits and stuff. Nothing big. I don't get much chance at school. I was shooting at that tree over there. Oh, I see it. Then I noticed there was a dude sleeping behind it. So I stopped. Oh yeah, that's Bruce. He's nice. Well, I'm just glad I didn't accidentally put a bolt in his face. Oh yeah, that'd be bad. Well, it was nice seeing you. You still see Greg sometimes? Oh yeah, all the time. Well, tell that cousin of mine he needs to come see me out in Bright Harbor. Oh, yeah, will do. He's not leaving here. Oh, I don't know. I think he should. Guy's got to spread his wings. Maybe his wings are just fine here. Nah. Greg's too much for this town. No argument there. See ya. Take it easy. Yeah. You know what that's all about. You know what that's all about, my friend. You also don't talk about that much these days. Should he be worried? Crossbows. May as well use a rifle. Lazy. Use a real bow. What? Don't kill bunnies? Why not? Bunnies are delicious. May not thinking what she says really enforce the idea of having Asperger's or ADHD. I've been thinking about it, Anarchtubby. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it quite a bit, actually. Also, May's in a lot of denial, and there's a lot going on here. Like, she clearly went back home because she wanted, she wanted to go back home, but people move on, you know what I mean? And she doesn't want that to happen because she's not, yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Bunnies are delicious. Buttermilk biscuit. Home isn't the place, right, home isn't the place that it was. Oh, hey, look, there's another musician. Hey, gang. We are getting musicians all over the town now. And that is quite mysterious to me. We're getting the dream musicians, and I'm like, what's going on in this game right now? Bunny on pizza with Alfredo sauce is bomb. Ooh. Wait, fiddlers, right? Fiddlers. Hey. Hello. I'm May. Hello, May. I'm Celine. Are you a busker? Are you busking? What's busking? I don't know. I think it's when you play outside and people give you money. Are you going to give me money? No. Then I'm not busking. Cool. I just met someone else playing by themselves. Really? Yeah, across town, in the abandoned building by the Click-Clack, they had one of those big saxophones. I just thought it was an interesting coincidence. Small town. Okay, look, people, there is something going on in this game. Something is going on in this game. I have my theories why she left college, but I don't want to accidentally spoil the game with a guess. I'm trying to figure that out myself, right? A fiddler on the roof, that sounds implausible. It might be. Are we... Hello? Look, we've got all these people to talk to, and I'm... Hello? Drawing something? Yeah, drawing a bad guy for a movie. Oh. Have you, filmed anything ever? I made a little movie with my phone, and I pirated some movie programs. It's real bad. I play bass real bad. How long have you been playing? Enough to be real bad. All right, I'm off. See ya. Later. There's a lot more information that I want. And there's a cat here. I don't know. Sunrise, sunset. Oh. Used to sometimes see other people up here. Is this not a thing anymore? Am I just old and out of touch? Whatever, it's awesome. I'm gonna put up a tent and camp out up here. Would definitely roll off and die. Do you, anybody here have got, like, thoughts and feelings? But, you know, if we go at Trooper's ability on the minigame, Maypay's really bad. Sometimes I'm not as bad, but sometimes I'm really bad. Like, Lori's so cool, right? Also, Nuke Possum Springs. Also, I just feel like there's a lot going on, and where are my rat babies? So, I think we've got to go back to find the rat babies, is my thought. This poor town, man. And also, these squirrels are probably dangerous. Oh, hey, look. That's where the rat babies are. We need to get up there because rat babies. We're there. There's a lot going on where my rat babies is my Emil cover band. I feel like that's a great cover band, and I just need to get here for the rat babies. Hey, let's sneak in this building before we go off and hang out with Angus. Nah, I really have new thoughts and never have feelings. Hey, look, there are rats here. Does this seem ominous to you in any way at all? Look, there's a rat here as well. I don't mean to be worrisome. Oh, look, there's a rat here and also a rat here. Angus? My cheat for the base game is I was listening to the music on YouTube, which has the minigame as the video, even in remixes, so I got used to the patterns because I just naturally play along with my hand while listening even without a controller. Oh, that's a good thought. Also, there are a lot of rats in here right now, everybody. I am a little concerned about what that might mean. My babies have left the nest. Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah. So, the rats are everywhere. It's called Night in the Woods, but I've never seen this character. Oh, hey. What is this? There's a door here. I didn't notice that. You know, I get different color than y'all get. Yeah, my babies are gonna form this massive rat king, and it's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be bad. That's all. If you had 9 babies, you may have created a rat king. I really think we did create a rat king, and so I'm concerned. She did go into the woods. Did we, hello, Dave's a Kraken. Dave's a Kraken. I'm doing really well. How are you? Right now, I'm worried about all the rats that we have fed, and that we are probably causing to, take over the world in some kind of awful way. Like, I think it's bad. What am I seeing? I am seeing no dropped frames over on my end. I don't know. I don't see anything. All right, so we're gonna go to the video outpost 2 is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk to Angus, and we're gonna go out there. Hey, Angus. So, I said I could, like, take you up to the park. You did indeed. You ready to go? We're gonna say yes. I'm excited, because we're gonna get one ghost thing explored today. This is our goal. No taking control. That would imply May had an ability. Yeah, well, that's fair. Are you? Yeah, we never get to hang out. Ghost hunting with Angus. So you think the guy you saw was a ghost? Not a guy, a ghost. I don't think this person's a ghost. Right. And why does no one believe me that it was a ghost? Well, I mean, ghosts don't actually exist. I'm pretty sure they do. Well, I'd need evidence. What counts? A ghost walking up and saying hello? And me saying, hey, I've verified you are a dead person. Could be a zombie or a Frankenstein. Okay, maybe if they're made of ghosty stuff. Ghosty stuff can be our podcast. about ghosts. This episode of Ghosty Stuff brought to you by Donut Wolf. I want donuts. Welcome to Ghosty Stuff. Hey, Barantor, I want donuts. I've got a faculty meeting early in the morning tomorrow. Maybe I can go get donuts before the faculty meeting. Oh wait, tomorrow's Friday. I can get bagels from the new bagel place. Donuts. All right, that's all. I'm May, and I saw ghosts, and this is Angus. Who doesn't believe me? I'm Angus, and this is May. She's a crazy person. The park. We're doing investigations. We're doing the stuff we investigated. I feel like, I feel very productive. Nice evening. Yeah, it's all right. My mom used to take me up here to play Frisbee. I got hit in the teeth with a Frisbee once. Full speed. Jeez. Casey and me were throwing things at each other's heads. Oh. We stopped after the Frisbee. Bagels are just savory donuts, and I'm fine with that. It's about time that I get somewhere. The faculty meeting should have donuts to entice you. I know! Why don't they have donuts? Dang, people. I want my faculty meetings to have donuts. That is what I want. I feel like I should have that. Ooh. Posted. Do not feed or touch the wildlife. Okay, this is what she'd say. Well, that seems extreme. And I probably should stick with Angus. This is all I'm saying. Axe says, now I want an everything bagel with onion and chive cream cheese, or a big donut with hibiscus and pomegranate icing. Ooh, that sounds really good, Axe. Maybe I can put this proposition of donuts at the meeting. Maybe, but I don't know how much money we have. That convo reminded me of when I was 10 and got KO'd by a water balloon. Oh, I remember those days, my friend. No meeting food is bad. Salted caramel donut. You know, all I really want, cinnamon bagel. Oh, I really do love a raisin and cinnamon bagel with plain cream cheese frosting, cream cheese. Not the whipped kind, but like nice, dense cream cheese. I want some bagels and donuts. That's all. And I really love a really good maple bar donut. And the apple cider donuts you can get here in New England are delish. There's a place here that makes everything bagel flavored beef jerky. What? I know, I'm sorry, Barantor. I'll just take the raisins. You don't have to have them. I don't know. You can't go to the woods to, like, socialize with the woods. I guess. There's some folks living in cabins up here. You can, feed and touch them if you want. It's a weird old place up here. There's all kind of weird stuff back up in the park. Old stuff just hanging out in the woods. We're in the woods, people. We'll hit my old scout camp on the way up, I think. Busy woods. Okay, better get going before it gets dark, because then we'd have a night in the woods. And then that would be bad. Cranberry orange bagel with cream cheese. Damn it, now I want bagels too. Hey, bagels are delicious. Unless you're a druid, then talk to all the wildlife. My wife says everything bagel seasoning is very good on avocado toast. Oh, huh. Artisanal jerky shop. It's amazing. I would like to try some artisanal jerky. That sounds really good. David Square Donuts and Bagels is on Grubhub. I just never order food during the day. Right? Angus is kinky. It's fair. But sometimes you just gotta be kinky. Well, we can't go that way. Look, Skexy, there's a new bagel place in town that I had a test bagel from, and it was super delicious, and you need to go there if you want some bagels. Skexy, bagels. 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 I'm telling you. Rissa, I will totally watch out for the sinkholes or I'll die. It's cool. All the donut places by my work are really poor. They all leave that gross fatty film in your mouth. Oh, no, I hate that. I hate that. It's called Goldilocks, and it is on Curtis Winthrop. You know Curtis Winthrop? changes names. I think it's probably, I can't remember what street it is by that time. It's the street that goes from the 16 up to Teal Square, you know? And it's new, and it's by Moulton's. It's sort of just down the street from the Danish pastry house, and it's brand new, and it opens up on Friday. And I was walking by with my house guest, and we were just like having a walk, and we were like, oh, there's a bagel place. Is it open? And it was not open, so we were sad. But then they saw us looking, and they're like, hey, would you like to come into our shop that's not open for free bagels? And I was like, they're not gonna murder us. Let's get free bagels. And then they gave us free bagels, and it was delicious, and we were not murdered. So I recommend it. I recommend it. I'm going to have to drag Stacy to Donut Bar tomorrow after we drop off the Carver Minutes. Yes. Found the site. Don't get to that side by foot often, but I might have to water down there. It was really good bagels. The Baron, those Goldilocks bagels, I think they are just right. And they're a brand new business. They're just opening up. And I hope they do well because like those bagels were like delish. And maybe I could go there, just buy like a dozen bagels, take them home and then eat them. Maybe I should only get a half dozen bagels. A dozen bagels. I don't know. People are rarely trying to murder you. That's true. Well, depending on who you are, that is also true. In December, you must check if they have Bleskibber with jam and sugar. They I don't think so, actually. I've never seen them. Right? Goldilocks, right? Right? Goldilocks. It's good. It's good. I still haven't gotten down to Bagelsaurus and Porter, but I've always heard good things. Oh, I should try that. Are you going to share with the other faculty at meeting? I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Maybe. Maybe. Wife says you should only buy a dozen if you are sharing with others. It might be just... Yeah, no, Baron Torsi, thank you. I appreciate... You know what? I appreciate your wife's comment because that's what I was contemplating in my mind. I was thinking I could get a dozen bagels, but I was like, a dozen bagels will probably not keep because if I just eat like a bagel a day, that's 12 days and that'll take a long time. And so that's probably too long for... It's probably too long for the bagels to keep well. So I think you're right. I should probably just get a half a dozen bagels and take them home with me. And I can probably eat this, like, the bagels will probably not get stale over the 6 days. That's what I'm thinking. So thank you. I was contemplating the conundrum in my mind. Atomica says, by the way, bedded down. We'll try to make the whole stream. But if I nod off, I want to say thanks for the stream and thanks for the great combo, everyone. Thank you for being here, Atomica. Your presence is always appreciated. So Axe says, fresh bagels really only last 3 to 4 days. But Denise says, bagels make really good croutons. Skexy says, I tend to refrigerate and toast most bready goods, and they'll keep long enough. Rissa says, just buy 1 or 2, because now you have regular access to freshly made. Do they sell other things besides bagels? They haven't opened up yet, but they did have, I think they might do cookies. They're going to do coffee. They're going to do bagels. I don't know what else they're going to do, but they're going to be one of those places that closes at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to get there early. That makes me crazy. Oh no, I'm going to go there's a donut place that I want to hit in Medford Square. On days 5 and 6, you can toss them into a microwave or an oven besides or over a ramekin of warm water. Oh, yes. No, see, Spider, it's not a hipstery place. There are a lot of these places that just, we have a lot of breakfast places around here in like the Boston area that they close at 2. Like they're not even all that hipster. They just seem kind of like we have this diner that is super not hipstery at all, and they close around 2 as well. So we just got a bunch of space they just close at 2. And I'm gonna tell you, I want my breakfast like at 4 in the afternoon is what I want. Atomic says, I'm still amazed how comfy my bed is. Haven't slept this well in years. Ice Bunny, coffee is not the thing for me. I do not drink coffee. Goldilocks, got it. I do not drink coffee at all. It is too bitter. It is not for me. I know, Sea Spider. But you know what I imagine it is, to be honest? I think it's because they're probably just gonna be running it themselves, just them, like just the 2 of them. They're a couple. And I just imagine they're just, you know what I mean? Hours. Yeah. Oh gods, the Grace on their Mystic Pizza Bagel looks amazing. I need to, That's always been a problem for me with Kelly's, which is so good. I love Kelly's, but they don't open late. And Soundbite has better, yeah, but I mean, I love Kelly's. Kelly's is a diner in an old style dining car, and I love their food and I love that place, but they don't open late. It makes me crazy. South Coast has a lot of breakfast nooks that close 1 to 2. Yeah, right, Atomica? It's totally true. All these places close 1 to 2. Baron Tor says, OMG, they have a bacon banana peanut butter Nutella sandwich called the Graceland. Oh, I have to have that. That's it. I have to have that. Because that sounds like me. Yeah, but here's the thing, Skexy. I am not awake at 5 a.m. and if I am, I haven't gone to bed yet. That is not my life. I do not like being places at 5 in the morning unless I have been out partying and I am older now. That is all. It's fried. Oh. Yeah, I think, Rissa, I think that's true. I think they might extend their hours once they get more established. Atomica, I love coffee. I follow the Turkish poem and on coffee. Dark as night, sweet as love, strong as death. Nice. Let's see. Puff Puff. You all right? Yeah, I got asthma is all. Sorry, you gotta wait for me. Do you have an inhaler? Didn't you run cross country back in junior high? That's what we'll ask. You and me, Trooper, says Rissa. 5 a.m. is too early unless you're still up from the night before, and that is truth. Atomic, I start work at 5 a.m. So, Atomic, did you just not sleep? Because, like, what? 5 a.m. Fine, you guys did it. Be right back. I'm going to get me some coffee. You know what, Sea Spider? I honor it. I honor it. It's been a long time, says Skexy, but yeah, up all night has usually been the most likely way for me to get somewhere for breakfast. Unless they're one of those great places that has breakfast all night and all day. I love that. Rissa also has to be at work at 5 a.m., just not every day. Like, you know, sometimes I gotta do it and I don't like it. Didn't you run cross country back in junior high? Yeah, but I never finished a race. Why'd you keep doing it? I have no idea. What is this thing? This is like a lime kiln, I think. Limes? Kiln? Limes? Limestone. You like do something with it in there and it becomes this other thing. Oh. Limestone's weird because it's mostly made of skeletons of sea creatures from millions of years ago. So like, this was all underwater or something at one point. Whoa! I go, whoa. I know, right? Like, right here where we're standing, there were like ancient, horrible sea monsters. Creepy and awesome. Levi's just like, I don't eat breakfast. Baron Tor says diners are wonderful, and that is true. Tomica, generally no, I don't sleep, but I'm usually up by 3. I can't eat anything until after coffee, Baron Tor says. Levi says, but mostly because I get up at 6 every day, whether I want to or not, and I'm not a morning person. Levi, I honor that. I can fake being a morning person, but I like to sleep. Skexy says, where I grew up and went to school, I was accustomed to the bars closing at 3 or 4 and everyone going to the one early morning breakfast place before someone home. Oh, yeah. I know that life. Like Mikey's Diner in the Twin Cities, all-night breakfast. This is all I want, Jer. I just want all-night breakfast. I want to have like French toast and eggs like at 2 in the morning. That's really all I want in life. Moving out here where the bars close early was an adjustment. Yeah, going from Europe where like the bars are open, they're open, to back in the States where they are not so open is interesting. Breakfast is the most overrated meal of the day. Crit Twitch says, give me the naps. Oh yeah. Ice Bunny, breakfast is not the most overrated meal. It is the best meal because Ice Bunny, you're European. You don't have American breakfasts. American breakfast is the best breakfast because we have it all. You can have a breakfast burrito, which is delicious. You can have like omelets and home fries, or you can have like hash browns and like maybe some eggs, or you can go with pancakes or waffles or French toast, or you can do like eggs Benedict. You can do like yogurt and fruit and muesli. You can do cottage cheese and stuff. You can do huevos rancheros, which is like delish. You can do cereal, all the cereals, oatmeal, cream of wheat, which I love cream of wheat, delicious, with stuff in it or not. You can do like regular breakfast cereals like Fruit Loops or Corn Flakes. Like, I mean, breakfast, my friend. Bagels. Breakfast. I can't. Breakfast pizza, says Axe. Breakfast pizza. Oh, yeah. Breakfast. Breakfast. Bacon is a magic word you keep missing with all these other breakfast options. I'm sorry, I forgot the breakfast meats. Grits, parfait, linguica and onion omelet with cheese, hot sauce, and maple syrup. And then just like... Well, you can, like, who says you have to have breakfast before 10? I mean, you can have breakfast anytime you want. Oh my gosh. Maple sausage links? Oh, breakfast for dinner. Now I want breakfast. Ooh, I might actually just order some breakfast after the stream tonight. I'm just thinking about it. Brunch fest. That's history. Okay, I'm ready to go. Oh. Can we go this way? No? We're going this way. Okay. Eating before 10. That's fair. So there's a lot of limestone in Possum Springs. Scrambled eggs with lots of pepper, scrambled eggs with cheese, scrambled eggs in a sandwich with cheese, with sourdough bread, breakfast sandwiches. Oh, breakfast. Need to take a break? I'm okay. No prob. So, if this place was underwater, why aren't there like ancient shark bones up here? That's amazing to say. I don't know. There might be, I guess. But not everything becomes a fossil. Why? I don't know. I'm not an expert on any of this. But there were definitely ancient sharks around here. Weird, because things are so boring nowadays. To think like all that crazy stuff was going on here? There's always more weird stuff that happened to find out about later. Okay, I'm ready to go. Cool. Bet the body that goes with that orphaned arm is in one or more of these kilns. Maybe. I feel like there's creepiness up here with these kilns. I don't know what to say. Atomica says, speaking of food, best part of the college I'm looking at, all you can eat buffet, unlimited food plan open till 1 a.m. And that is deliciousness. I'm glad Diesel got back to offering up breakfast sandwiches later today. Me too, Skexy, and I want one. I tend to go for their monkey wrench, but I want more breakfast. Limestone is one of the major byproducts of coal mines. Jer, thank you. Yes. Barentor says, pancakes and bacon with a little bit of the maple syrup gets on the bacon, and then it's perfect mix of salty and sweet, and you have the orange juice to wash it all down. Yes. I also really love corned beef hash. Ice Bunny says, my mom always made me bread with Nutella that I didn't eat because it was too early and chewing is not my thing in the morning. That's fair. Origami Shuriken says, these characters may be about to stumble into a Call of Cthulhu scenario, and this is what I'm concerned of. JB's Club, oh yeah, that's good. So, hey Sea Spider, welcome back. But you can't put the maple syrup on the bacon, it has to be an accident. It's the rule, it just has to have the maple syrup go to it. Yeah, I do love a good corned beef hash. And the thing about corned beef hash is that it's like potatoes and meat together, and it's delicious with some eggs on the side. I know, I'm hungry now too, it's crazy. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah. Sorry. Seriously, it's fine. Hang for a minute. Okay. I should know all this stuff about, like, ancient sea creature, rock, or whatever. Lime. Stone. I was gonna take a class on dinosaurs back at school. What happened? It was all full up. That class fills up fast. I bet. Choco has a maze ball. Choco hash has a maze ball. Yeah, this is what I want. Chorizo, I love, yeah. I count the milk in my coffee as breakfast when I'm on my way to the campus. I don't like it when syrup touches the eggs unless it's French toast. Fair. I'm with you, Origami Shuriken. Also, it's so lovely to see you here. Especially when we make the corned beef in house. That is nice. That is nice. Greg will be pissed off if May kills Angus on this hike. That's true. That's true. This scene confirms one important detail. Greg's on top. I love it. Here's a question for everyone. Super crispy bacon or floppy or the... I like the in-between. I like my bacon in between where it's still... I still get a sense of the meat. But you know. We'll go with this one. Dinosaurs are like the most interesting animals. You knew they had feathers? Or some of them? I know, right? Big freaky chickens. Meat not crunchy, fat not chewy. Perfect, that's what I want. That's what I want, Levi. Used to be crispy, but I'd say in between now. In between, don't need charcoal in the morning, and unrendered bacon fat is gross. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of consensus here. Wife, nobody likes flaccid anything. Your wife is correct. Your wife knows these things. I thumbs up to your wife. Meaty, crisp bacon, that's where it's at. For years, it was cigarettes and milk coffee in the morning. Things were so cool and so scary and cool back then. We died in like 5 minutes. Oh yeah, ancient creatures would eat us, no problem. Be glad for the millions of years between us. Weird. Time, dude. Time makes most dangerous things less dangerous. Most things, at least. Okay, you ready to roll? Yeah, we're almost to the top. I'm concerned he does not have his inhaler. Time, dude. What if we find dead bodies up here? Why is it nighttime? Well, that was a hike. That was a lot easier when I was 11. This is going to be this is concerning. I know he should be concerned that he doesn't have his inhaler. Nothing is open at 3 a.m., so I subsist in Cumberland Farms breakfast taquitos for breakfast. When I was a kid, I had so much inhaler anxiety. I understand that. That was the heck of a long hike. Yeah, we're just going to finish this exploration, and then we're going. Elementary school wouldn't let me keep my inhaler with me. I had to go to the school. What? That's messed up. We passed, what, like 3 gates on the way up here? I lost count. Weird. It used to be open back then. Ready to go? Not far now, just up ahead. I'm really worried. By the time I was done, I just kept one and the teachers thankfully looked the other way. Graves, huh? I was so close to smoke, we had to present a text, and I was unsure, plus the teacher put in the last part of the class, and don't eat before a presentation. Yeah, these were... I forget. They were involved in the Possum Massacre. That, like, labor strike thing, where it was like the miners versus National Guard. Happened back in town like 100 years ago. Why are they up here? I think these were some of the bad guys, and some of them, and some of the miners didn't want them buried in town. Oh, huh. There's like a few old graveyards up here from like colonial times. I guess there's one up here somewhere too. Well, that's spooky. Just bones. Ancient shark bones? Yeah, see? Nothing left to be scary. I feel like something bad's going to happen up here. This is just my thought. Teachers are not allowed to give medicine to kids. That's true. Unless... Okay. Do you think we're going to die? No? Wow. We're up really high. And really far out. I can't see town from here. It's south of us, behind whatever ridge that is. So, what... Are we supposed to wait here and see if anything happens? You tell me, you're the expert. I guess we'll just wait here and see if anything happens. What? I know I want to jump. Nice night. Yeah. Back at school, I couldn't see as many stars. That always made me sad. Oh, yeah. They're really nice up here. And they are nice. I wish I knew the constellations like you did. What? You know, all the names and the stories and stuff. I wish. I can never remember them other than... I think that one up there is like a bell or something. No. Remember that time we were all at that longest night bonfire and we spotted the constellations together and you told us all about them? That's not a thing that happened. Oh, wow. Maybe it was like a dream or something? God, I barely remember now. I wonder what fake constellations and stories you dreamed up. And this is where you find out that Angus is a swinger. Okay, humor me. I'll find the constellations. You tell me about them. Okay, then. All right. Find me some constellations. Wait, are these going to be real ones or fake ones? Just ones I remember. Or dreamed that one time. Whichever. Remember Mr. Chazikov? Yeah, science teacher. He lives in Underhill and has a telescope on his roof. And I totally saw some stars through it. That's cool. Telescopes are cool. Wish I had a telescope. Okay, let's see. We get to make our own telescope? Let's make one that does... Okay. We're gonna make a constellation here, people. It's gonna look like, we're gonna make a dipper. We're gonna make a dipper is what we're gonna do. Oop, that didn't work. Just so you know, dipper. Like, oh hey, not a dipper. It's a cat. Großer Wagen. He's got arrows sticking out of him. And he's chasing a diamond. Oh, I know this one. You don't remember his name. He lived, you remember the stories about the forest god? Yeah! My granddad used to tell me Adina stories. Okay, yeah. Anyway, this cat was in there, liked shiny things, was good at getting through the forest, was really good at stealing. Oh, wow, yeah, I used to call him Ass Cat when I was little. Well, then he stole a diamond from a king and got arrowed to death. But he was slick enough that he just jumped out of his body and became immortal or something. Huh, decent. Extremely decent. We're gonna get a new one, yeah. New constellation, yeah. Right here, right now. I actually kind of feel like there's a proper way to do this. Like, I think that I can't, right? Like, I don't think I can actually just do the constellations however I want. I think there's actually a right answer. So, surprise. Extremely decent. What was I've been thinking about something that I wanted to share with you guys and I can't remember. Oh, I know this one. It's a pope. He breathes fire. Oh, this one is real. Or at least the dude is. Rubello. There's a statue of him outside church. Oh, we never went there. Did your family go to church? We'll do that one. Did your family go to church? Weddings and funerals and longest night, basically. I don't think those first two count. Those are like events. My mom works up at the church now. I haven't gone really since I was like 14 or 15. Does she mind? She pretends not to. We're getting some really nice bonding moments with Angus, and this is making me happy. Also, Fire Pope. Let's maybe make a really long boat of some sort. Also, gang, I'm telling you for realsies though, I'm having bagels and or donuts tomorrow. Let's see. No? Ooh, little one. Okay, that's a bell. And in the middle is this eye looking at you. Okay, that's I know this one a little from like prog rock album covers. I think the world ends when it rings. I think you die when it rings when it's looking at you. No, we're good with the world ending. I think the world ends when it rings because May is very enthusiastic. That makes sense. It's going to be really loud. There's no sound in space. Crit Twitch says, I don't know, not sure what my bell's looking me with one eye. It's better than two eyes, that's true. I mean, like basically no sound, usually. That sounds really scary for some reason. Well, at least it means we're not going to get rung to death by a bell. That's fair. That's fair. Do any of you remember a sci-fi show from the late 70s, early 80s called Phoenix, I think it was? An eye in the sky. Oh. It's a whale. I see you, Rissa. And it's got like the world on its back. Oh wow, that's sad. Why? Why does it have to carry the whole world? Like, that's really unfair. Yeah. That is legitimately upsetting. You gotta wonder why people made these up. I mean, like, these specifically. Who saw a whale and was like, needs to be carrying something. I mean, whales are pretty big. They didn't know what the Earth was. That's what we'll say. They didn't know what the Earth was. Yeah, but like, I don't assume everything I don't understand is a whale. You could start. We're like way out here, huh? In the park? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was like about a guy and he was an alien and he woke up in the pyramids and he had like a pendant medallion. He was like an ancient alien from the pyramids and I don't think it lasted very long. It was probably only lasted half a season, maybe a full season. It was called Phoenix, maybe? The Phoenix? It was like, you know, I'm not saying it was good, but it was super late 70s, early 80s. No, I remember The Prisoner from that era though, but only because a cousin of mine had a VHS, but The Prisoner's amazing. Amazing. Maybe Angus is about to cut off May's arm. Spooky. I don't know, it's pretty safe. And the stars are pretty. So, you don't believe in ghosts at all? Nah, I don't believe in ghosts or gods or psychic powers or anything like that. Not at all? I mean, there's no evidence for them, and people have really tried. Did you ever? They are really fun. Yeah, when I was a kid. Tell me about it. So, I don't know how much I've ever told you or how much Greg has told you, but I didn't have the best childhood. I'm loving Angus, that's all. Yeah, I think I heard that. Why was it bad? My dad didn't like me. And my mom didn't either. And like, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. No, it's fine. My dad used to hit me a lot, and my mom was probably worse. She like wouldn't feed me, which is why I really like cooking now. She'd like shove me into the pantry and slam the door really hard, and all the stuff would fall off the shelves on top of me. Oh my God, Angus. I didn't know at all. That's awful. she'd lock me in there for like a day at a time sometimes, or overnight. So I'd like try to develop psychic powers so I could signal the neighbors or unlatch the door. It didn't work, as you might guess. Did you ever tell anybody? I never did. I don't know why. After a while, I started feeling guilty too for some reason. Like this was something bad I was doing. Like being abused? Angus, that's not your fault at all. You were a kid. Oh, don't worry. I know that now. Boy, do I ever. Question, can I go kick all of their asses? Like, I've got experience. I can F some shit up. Well, my mom is kind of old now. I still have to visit her sometimes. I have a brother. He's overseas in the army. And my dad left like 10 years ago. So, who knows where he is or if he's even alive. If he's alive, I don't want to know about it. Angus, I just want to give you a hug forever. Well, I was luckier than a lot of kids. I'm just glad I didn't yeah. Anyway, to your original question. Testing out my psychic abilities in the pantry made me really interested in both paranormal stuff and science. And I joined a skeptic society on the internet, and that kind of ruined me and a lot of other supernatural bullshit. And it gave me something to solve, something you could debunk or know. I don't know. It saved me a little bit, I guess. Because when someone does all that stuff to you, it can make you do some bad things to yourself. But anyway, no ghosts or God. So I feel like if I'd been through that, I'd be more likely to want to believe in God or something. Do you believe in anything at all? Well, so like the constellations, I don't believe there's a whale out there, but I believe that the stars exist and that people put the whale there. I don't know. We're good at drawing lines through the spaces between stars. We're pattern finders and we'll find patterns. And we really put our hearts and minds into it. And even if we don't mean to. So I believe in a universe that doesn't care and people who do. Pattern finders. I feel like a lot of people don't think they found God, but God found them. When they were having a bad times like you did, God never did. I was completely alone in the pantry. But a few years later, Greg did. So the stars can stay up there and not give a shit about us, but this whale is pretty cool. You're an extremely good and smart person, Angus. I try, but I'm no more than anyone else. Skexy says, I was kind of ticked off at this video about 25 things you missed about John Wick. They noticed "be seeing you" is repeated throughout the series and has become a meme, but had no clue where it came from. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're getting some feels towards Angus here. Holy retribution from May. May is not above beating the fuck out of a hospitalized elderly woman, and that is true about May. Angus, all the love to you, Angus. I also really love how that scene was presented, how it sort of moved through these stars that become sort of really symbolically meaningful. Rissa just said, is that a person on the right? And that is a person on the right. It's the creeper. It's cool, don't worry about it. Yep. I should come out here more often. Yeah. Don't look at him. Okay. They know that the ghost is here. Thank you, Barontor. This is the perfect time to use that emote. No, Brad. Oh. Who? There's someone standing behind us. In the trees. Oh. Holy shit! Holy shit! What do they look like? Tall, wearing some kind of weird coat? Like a utility coat or something? Oh god! That's the ghost! I'm more worried about it being a living person, standing in the woods, staring at us. Oh god! Oh god! Well, don't panic. Follow my lead. Hey there. Out for a hike? Nice night. He's not answering. That's a little hostile, right? That's definitely a little hostile. Hey! I know what you did! May, no. I saw you! Okay, well, we're gonna run now. We need to get to the car. But your asthma! I got an inhaler. The good kind, too. No one in heaven or earth can stop me. Okay, let's go! Deep breaths. In, out. All right. Ah! This, I just, this is, Thank you for the compliment on the voice acting, Crit Twitch. No. Did you see how fast that ran by? No. I need, if I had the cursor, I'd be putting some no brads all over the place right now. I'd be just like some no brads everywhere is what would be going on right now. You okay, big guy? Yeah, I'll be okay in a few minutes. I'm resilient. So that was it. That was the ghost. Or it was some weirdo who lives out there. They probably get lots of kids throwing parties back there. I mean, the party I went to where you threw up, that wasn't too far from there. Why does nobody believe me? May, it's like every other explanation is more likely than ghost. Okay, fine, whatever. Sorry. I'm grouchy. Headache. That was scary. There was a homeless person out in the woods, but didn't look like that guy. It's cool. It was. Okay, we're home, which means we're gonna close the stream soon. Tonight, Angus is psychic, but his hat blocks it. No clues, but Angus saw him too. Angus saw him too. I'm very concerned. Hey, Dad. Hey, you. You okay? Yeah. Weird night. You look really worn out. Yeah. Geez, I am sore tonight. I need a back brace or something. How do you do it? Do what? Always running and jumping around all crazy? I don't know. I mean, I'm really out of shape. I don't think I've ever been in shape. I used to be, but that was because of my job. New job doesn't require much like that. Yeah. Heard you and your mom went on an adventure today? Yeah. She talked about it all through dinner. You should, you know, be home for dinner sometime. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, go to bed, you. Will do. Gang. I don't think we've seen Mom and Dad at the same time, have we? I actually think we have maybe the first night. I think. Yeah, but I think Mom's asleep. I think she's probably has to go to bed early. Also, I just want you to know I'm a little freaking out. We're gonna go in here. There's just a little bit of a freak out. Yeah, I feel like they were both there in the beginning, maybe? Gang. If my breakfast place is open, I'm ordering some breakfast because we just saw a spooky thing. And, spooky. Maybe our friends. I don't know. Let's find our friends. Oh, hey, football helmet. Hey, B, you awake? Psychobilly freak out. Yes. I very much am. Doing bills and eating grilled cheese. What's up? Went to the park with Angus. How'd it go? It was fun until it was scary. How so? We totally saw the ghost in the woods. Really? Angus saw this? He did. Wow. Okay. Hold on. I'm texting Angus. Why? Angus is an annoyingly strident atheist. He doesn't believe in ghosts. Why can't you just take my word for it? Hold on. He said it was probably a hunter. Ah! Okay, whatever. Sorry, for what it's worth, I don't not believe you. Thanks. You have a good time otherwise? Yeah. I learned a lot about Angus. He's had kind of a rough life. Oh yeah, he definitely has. Wait, how do you know about this? Because Angus and I have been friends since like 8th grade? Oh yeah, I forgot. You're not like the glue holding all of us together. Angus kind of is. He's the common denominator. Me and Greg don't hang out. Angus is good. He is. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Talk to you later. But we're gonna talk to Greg first. Hey! Yo! Hey! Did you and Angus have a good time? Did he not tell you about it? That's what we're gonna say. Yeah, he did. You guys saw a weird creepo, huh? Yeah, it was the effing ghost again. Hold on. Angus is thinking it was a hunter. Buck season starts in like 2 days. Oh, what the hell? Put him on. KKKK. Hey, May. This is Angus. Dude, you saw him with your own eyes. I mean, we saw a guy who was being weird. But there are folks that live up there in the park. And there are hunting camps and stuff. So it was most likely a guy out hunting buck early. Dude, I felt it. I know. I don't know what to say about that. I think all 3 of us were spooked. Okay, fine. Thanks for going out and being brave and stuff. Anytime, I had fun. You can put Greg back on. Hey, dude. I'm an artiste. Were you doing art just now? Sure was. All right, off to bed. Night, dude. And then we're going to talk back to Angus. Oh, no. It's Greg. Hey, mate, this is Greg. You and Angus are talking on my computer. Okay, hey, I'm Angus. Oh, hey, I'm Angus. Oh, hey, I'm Angus, and I'm so smart and have a great ass. Blah, 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 blah. You two are talking a lot. Hold on, I'm drawing him a dirty message in the paint program. It's a dick with his hat on it and a smiley face. I don't know what it even means. Looks like you two are wrapping up. Peace out, yo. Hey, May. Hey, May, it's Angus. You and Greg are talking. I can attest that this picture is kind of baffling. Good night. Hi. That's all. Y'all. Oh, look, you can see. There's the weird horn and the axe, and also our helmet and our monkey head. Bedtime? No, not yet. You can't live in bed, May. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We are, yeah, Dream's gonna be trippy tonight, but we're gonna be doing Dreams next stream, everyone. So, that was creepy. We got a creepy person here running around being creepy up in our faces in ways that make me concerned and worried. So, yeah. What's up next for me? Promises. So Saturday at noon, we'll be playing more Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds expansion, to see what's going on, hanging out up there. Then next Wednesday, you can catch me playing the Purloin Code, Scum and Villainy, over at Little Red Dot's place where I'm Dev, who I adore Dev. I think Dev is adorable. And then back again. And thank you, Jer. We've got some socials. Thanks so much for the chat stream with 5 minutes of game time. Love it all. You know what I've started doing on YouTube? I've started putting in when the game actually starts playing, so that if you just want to watch the game, you can just skip to 1 hour and 30 minutes in. You know, that's what I'm doing. So yes, I've got a Twitter, Academic Foxhole. You can follow along if you like. I've got a YouTube where said aforementioned shows are. Also, there's a Patreon, which I'm using to help fund my RPG empire so I can run shows on my channel. And there's also a Discord, which you should hang out at if you are not already there. If you want to follow, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not the boss of you. You do you. You do what you want to do. Everybody, we don't get to end the stream without a little bit of Ginger Rogers. Earway and hey, the anime. Earway and hey, the anime. Ewe at gele at way of way at way at wakes to ute at gele young way. Earway and hey, the anime. Either I skaze or ani say, old man did yes and pray, we are a trivia stay so unreal. Ewe of the Edward Lansley of Wed Brownsley ute day. And when we see the Endler woke at the Igar in the IA, we're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. Thank you so much for those bits, party! Thank you for the bits. That's the best. Everybody, thank you for being here with me and hanging out with me and being awesome and for being my community. Because you know, I haven't listened to like my own music for, I'm going to go listen to Lizzo maybe. I'm going to go listen to some music. So thanks everybody. You all have been wonderful. And I will catch you on the flip side. Be good with yourselves and like lots of love. Catch you on the flip side, everybody. I'm going to go get some breakfast, or I'm going to see if I can get breakfast. I'm checking Grubhub, getting breakfast. Bye, everybody.